where everybody knows your name. Laughter fills the air like a sweet refrain. Sit and share a story, but I drink or two. In this cozy bar, where dreams come true, where smiles and friends remain, and good times ease the pain. Here we go again.
Hello, hello. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you let me know? Why, that'd be just swell. How are we? How are we? Mandy, the hat, the famous hat. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Sam, how are you doing? Good to see you. To see you nice. I haven't been for a walk today. Devastated, I've not been. So I'm not going to hit my target unless I go after this, but I can't be bothered. I don't think I can be bothered. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. What else? There was something else and I can't remember. Obviously a lie, wasn't it? If I can't remember, it must have been a lie. Oh, no. I had a nap when I got home from dropping Jess off at work this morning, and it was longer than my actual sleep last night, bizarrely. I needed it. Get on the treadmill. I have got the treadmill, haven't I? Suppose I could do that. It's only 10 minutes, isn't it? But then where would I get the footage from? I've got 3 or 4 little bits of footage that I took in the car earlier using the good camera. Doing good, Sam. Good stuff, man. We're putting out plants that still benefit from more sun and outdoor areas, right? It's that time of the year, isn't it? You're on the cusp of, are they coming in? Are they going out? Do we need to move them in, out, shake it all about? You're looking after nature. That's what we like to see. I say that's what we like to see. It's what I like to see anyway. I think Mandy does as well. Mandy's got a little garden there, haven't you, with your stuff in the back, which lasts 5 minutes. Summer starts, you sneeze, summer ends. It's bizarre, isn't it? Surprising how quickly it's getting dark now, though, because it wasn't that long ago that it was light until almost the time these streams finished, and now all of a sudden it's pitch black early. Mainly ones in flowers. Oh yeah, of course, plus a ridiculous tree that was a gift to hubby when he first started working online. Yeah, if they're still flowering, you need to look after them, don't you? I must admit, this time of year, all leaves tend to turn colour and fall off trees. Occasionally you'll see something that's still in flower and it stands out. It's brilliant. And those that do, I try and catch on my little filmy walks. An oasis in a desert. Sam, are you following Connor on his channel? Man, he's had 50 thrushes bombarding the feeders. That must have been some sight, that. I know you got a lot of birds where you are, don't you? Not just seagulls, not just pigeons, loads of birds. I tried this morning, and I used the Merlin app again this morning, but there was so much noise from kids going to school. You could barely hear anything. Only had 3 birds, magpie, sparrow, and what was the other one? Something else, can't remember. Might have been a robin, actually. Robins are very, very noisy around there. I forget the little tiny ones. I forget what they were called. One almost hit me last week as I was on my little walk. It was a tiny thing, managed to just fly past my head. The noise out of it was unbelievable. Something about that big and you can hear it across 3 streets. Bizarro. Mondo Bizarro. Hot or not? Still hot. as it should be. I only made it about an hour ago. Jukebox is working, yes. You've whinged it into working, Mandy. This is something of which I have absolutely no control whatsoever. What it is, right, is there's a website called Pixel Chat. Pixel Chat. Yeah, Pixel Chat. And you connect it to your Spotify, and whatever you play on Spotify, you can then put on your screen. Is it about plants and gardening? It's not. Our Connor's not into plants and gardening. He does a bit nice bit of singing now, don't you? Where are you up to, Connor? Where's your following stats at the moment? I don't even bother looking at mine these days. I think they're coming down all the time. Yeah, coming down all the time. 277, lovely stuff, lovely stuff. Your feeders were popular for a few days with the freeze, but back to being ignored pretty much now, yeah. It's a shame that. I need to fill the feeder at this point, at some point this week, when I've got a little bit of time. Because Jess passed the driving test last Wednesday, didn't she? So it's a week and a day she's been driving. She went to work once on her own on Monday, that was it. When she passed on Wednesday, she was off work for the rest of the week. So the first day she went to work was Monday, and she rang me on Monday morning. Dad, a windscreen wiper came off on the way to work. So before my work, I had to go out, buy a set of windscreen wipers for her car, and then I had to get my dad to come with me because I tried myself and I can't do it. Her car was parked on the street. We just turned up, changed the windscreen wipers and went home. So when she finished work at 5 o'clock or whatever it was, she walked outside into the pissing rain and had 2 new wiper blades on. That was Monday. Tuesday, I had to take her to work. I had to drop her car at the garage because it needs to be fixed. Pick her up after work, take her home. Today, take her to work, pick her up, take her home because the car's not fixed yet. So when she said, I've missed this, I've missed getting picked up by you, she'd only had 1 day, that's it, 1 day of driving herself. I've taken her to work more than she has herself. The squirrel footage was great, so close, oh man. Tomash, you've got a crisis, you just sneezed all over your toast, you can't believe it's snot butter. Evil stuff, evil. Before you go.
Very poor. Very poor indeed.
Very poor. Very poor indeed. Catch you later, so it is. We're at 77F with a feels like of 83F. Actual 25 Celsius feels like 28.3. That's bloody hot. Jess needs to learn how to do that herself. Yes and no, she does, but what she doesn't need is to finish work at 5 o'clock, go outside and not be able to drive home. So I get it. I have to go and sort it out. Hang on. Sam, found you. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. She will do it herself at some point, but this would have to be when she's at home and things like that. I will go through it with her and I'll teach her how to do the basics of stuff. How to top up the windscreen washer fluid. How to check the tyre pressure. All that kind of stuff, I'll do that. But she was struggling, so it's 2 now. 2 mercy missions that we've done. Hopefully she'll get a car back tomorrow. She's off tomorrow, so I'll have to ring the garage in the morning, find out where they're up to with it. And if they fixed it, I will take her to go and pick it up and she can pay for it because it's her own bloody car. Casper, how are you doing? Yes, but She was delighted to have some time with me because we had a laugh yesterday and today. I do the same thing every morning whenever I get to work. Well, morning, afternoon, evening. Get out of bed, get out of bed, you bone-eyed lazy bastard. At which point she replies with an Australian accent as well. So I've made her laugh loads. She won't get that on her own, will she? Isn't basic maintenance part of the test? I don't think it is. Basic maintenance. You have to do a, what's it called? Sort of a point it out kind of thing, where you have to go around the car and go, that's what that is. They don't actually ask you to change stuff or fill stuff up. A show and tell, that's it, isn't it? A show and tell. Show me around the engine, show me where such and such is and tell me about it. That's what that is. That's what that needs to be done. This is how you fill it up kind of thing. But I need to show her how to actually do it on her own car as well. I think she knows more about the Mini that my dad's got than her own car. She's lucky to have a dad like me. Casper, she is. I'm fantastic. I go out of my way to be an idiot as much as possible. Louise, Lula Bellatini, Lulu and Young Generation, how are you? How are you in yourself? How's life 38,000 feet up Mount Pendle? Your grandma's sister was living in India and asked her husband to teach her to drive. He said he would, but only if she learned to fix the car in case it broke down while she was driving it. Absolutely fantastic. Mind you, at that point in India, it wasn't a driving test. Go forward 5 yards, go backwards 5 yards. Congratulations, you've passed. Sure, India was one of those, wasn't it? A few places where it was literally, can you get in, can you start her up? Congratulations, here's your licence. Speaking of licences, her licence came through today. She sent off a provisional and a piece of paper from the test centre. She had got her actual licence back today. So she was showing me. Your dad would rather be friends with the green bottles, and the mental fuckery from that is terrible compared to your mates with dads that actually care. I know, mate, that's horrible, that. Not good. I was lucky, my dad's fantastic. Really is. So I hope I've learned some lessons from him and passed it over to my daughter. And I hope if she has kids in the future, she too will be an absolute dickhead like me. Because it'd be great. Passing it down from generation to generation. She does silly voices, she does accents. She's always telling jokes. So she's sort of like me. So I'm proud of that. Yeah, but I don't see how you can be horrible to your own kids. Give them all the time in the world. Give them time that you haven't got yourself. Just give it to them, doesn't matter. If you're late for work, just say to your boss, I was talking to my daughter. Yeah, but nothing, I was talking to my daughter. Next. Because you will need a kidney at some point. Fact. My throat's knackered again. Do you know why? I found out why this is. I sit here for hours, and I mean hours, not talking at all, not saying a word. I'll get in the car and talk to Jess, then I'll come back in here, sit down, carry on working, without saying a word for 2 or 3 hours. That's why I end up sounding rough as a bear's arse. But on the plus side, doesn't matter. I sound a bit husky, don't I? A bit rough. Typical as well. I had my shower earlier. I was going to go out and go for a walk and then have a shower, but I thought no. I was desperate for a shower, so I just went up and done that. Then I looked at the clock and thought, I haven't got time. And it's completely dry out there now. Completely dry. I could have gone for my walk. Doesn't matter. Treadmill it later. I believe otherwise, unfortunately. I know, it's horrible, isn't it? Vocal warm-up, pre-stream. The problem with that though, Mandy, is I'm a YouTuber, so all it goes is do, re, mi, 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 mi. Me, 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 me. Yeah. I don't want to sound like a complete tit. That's the only problem. Walking around the house. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. What are you doing, dickhead? Streaming later. Big feckin' aegis. Got to do something. I was thinking about singing earlier as well. That's been on my mind a lot recently. I miss singing. I miss playing guitar, obviously, but I miss singing. My own music. Not other people's. My own stuff. I will have to try and do something. Even if it's just one of those digitally workbook things where you press, it's all into little boxes and you just put dots in them. Dots, or this is where it's supposed to hit, doom, doom, that kind of thing. Butterfly, a little bit of dolly. Piss off, Mandy. With your earworm. Stop it. I had Dolly Parton earworm earlier on while I was listening to something else. That's impossible. How? How did you do that? Listening to Talk of all bands, Talk, and you got Dolly Parton in me feckin' head. And all you did was talk. Talk. You, YW, you call me a wanker? Oh, you're welcome, sorry. Close. Dolly Parton, I'm not a big Dolly Parton fan, to be honest with you, but she's an exceptional human being, isn't she? The thing that she does with buying books for kids who haven't got a chance to read, there's a name for it, I can't remember what it was called, but she's funded like millions and millions of dollars in buying books for people, for kids. Brilliant. That's what you want from your rock stars and your country stars and your music stars, isn't it? Don't be a complete bastard. Give something back to the community. And she also, one of the things I couldn't believe about her, she wrote 2 songs on the same day. 2 songs on the same day. Now that's not difficult. Many people can write 2 songs on the same day. One of them was And I Will Always Love You, later ruined by that warbling gobshite Whitney Houston. And the other one was Jolene. If you can write I Will Always Love You and Jolene on the same day, you have got serious skills, man. That's a good day's work, that, isn't it? You can have the week off after doing that. Yeah, the concept of child get about themselves from the earliest caregivers tends to stick, even if one does work on it later in life. You can work on it, but like you say, the damage is done at that point, isn't it? It's a shame, that. She was one of 13 kids, so she knows, yeah. We need more of that. You know what, there probably is more of that as well. And so many people just keep it quiet, which is good. Just giving people, or giving back to the community without needing to be patted on the back. But Dolly Parton's doing it and also raising awareness of what's going on. I don't mind that. It's not done for anything for herself. It's just that I can use my name to get this message out that we need to look after kids and give them opportunities. Well done, doll. It's worth to keep telling those earliest echoes that they are wrong about you. Yeah, you are more than you were told. Absolutely. Every human being. We're a miracle. I mean, how many hundreds of thousands or millions of sperm get shot out of the starting rifle, and you were the one that was allowed in the egg? That's a miracle. Absolute miracle. Life itself is a miracle. You were born a miracle onto a planet which is zooming, falling through space, rotating at so many 6.3 billion miles a second, falling through the atmosphere. Just bizarre. All of it is a miracle. And then you get treated like shit. It is the early times don't half matter. And that's where you've got to be careful. Kids, especially young kids, are like sponges, which is why they can learn language really easy, because you just take things in. And if you take in constantly that the world's horrible and people around you are horrible and they talk down to you, it's horrible, isn't it? Your mum's dad could have been 97 this year and he fancied Dolly Parton a lot. I think there's quite a few generations of males that did as well. If you look back to where she was in the 60s and 70s, that is one ridiculously attractive lady. So how pretty must have Jolene have been if you can steal a fella away from Dolly Parton? Eh? Bloody hell. The only problem I've got with Dolly Parton, apart from Mandy and the pissing earworm, she in the 60s and 70s looks like, or rather the other way round, looks like John Anderson from Yes, the lead singer with Yes, to the point where occasionally now I'll be watching one or the other and I'll think of one or the other, and it's concerning, very concerning. Classmates and teachers can be nagging voices as well, absolutely. Got to keep believing in yourself, even if, not especially if you still don't feel like your greatest self yet. Your greatest self will appear as and when it needs to appear. And you've got to push yourself to get through it if you've been taught that you are second rate all your life. The Working Class Hero by John Lennon's got a fantastic lyric in, isn't it? Lyric is in it, hasn't it? As soon as you're born, they make you feel small by giving you no time instead of it all. That, to me, that nails it. Because he was treated badly to begin with. And it damaged him. But that's a fantastic line. I love that. Speaking of teachers, they were not allowed to beat kids since the early 70s, but they still did when you were at school in the 90s and 2000s. What? Bastards. I started secondary school in the UK in 1985 when I was 12. Corporal punishment or capital punishment or whatever it was called back then finished a couple of years before that, so I missed out on it, thankfully. Mind you, I was a good boy at school. Friend of yours, teacher broke his arm when you were in 6th grade but wasn't fired. Get out, man. Some of the things though teachers used to get up to, well, there's quite a few things they got up to, like, but some horrific stuff. My mum and dad told me stories about teachers in Liverpool in the sort of the 50s and 60s, and it blew my mind just how horrific they were. Vile, vile people. You had him in physics in the 2000s and everybody hated him since he mistreated us. And that was the guy that broke your mate's arm. You need to be careful, or the teachers back then used to really need to be careful as well. Because you'd have a go at someone, and then within the space of 6 months, that someone had gone from being small to being like a 6'5" rugby player, hard as nails. That happened a few times in our school. Misunderstandings between teacher and pupil, and teacher ended up on his back. Told you not to say a word to me, lad. You never fucking shut up. Bang. Bye. He had a grade school friend that was put into a Catholic school for a couple of years. And when she came back, she told you horror stories. She got hit with a stapler. That sounds very British, that. With us, it was board dusters off the blackboard or chalkboard. To be giving it one of those on the board, and if you heard voices behind them, just turn around. Chunk of wood, bang off the back of the head. What's you that for? Were you talking? Well, I wasn't until I got hit in the fucking head, were you? Man, you had a teacher whose nickname was Thumper, not the Bambi Rabbit. Bambi Rabbit. That didn't sound right coming out of my mouth, did it? The Bambi Rabbit. Thumper. Horrible, aren't they? Trying to think who we had. We had one fella who always had a little stain on his, always had a jumper, obviously, always a little drool stain on his jumper. Disgusting. Disgusting. I think he got binned off because he was trying to get into one of the 14-year-olds. Naughty, naughty, very naughty. He had an Austin Metro and he changed the words on the back of it to Tina rather than Austin. I think he got threatened quite a lot by the lads for being not to put too fine a point on it, a complete and utter turbo nonce. We also had I forget his name now, we had a teacher who looked like Bruce Willis, but during the moonlighting years. All the teachers used to wear really shit suits, proper shit suits, the cheapest they could find. He used to wear really good ones, well cut, designer, and he was cool as well. Wasn't as old as some of the other teachers. Definitely a Bruce Willis, so we used to call him Bruce all the time. When you graduated, all the teachers retired. Your aunt had your classroom teacher as hers in 1970. All right. They all started that year, and when you graduated, they all retired. So you in 89 had the same teachers as the 55 borns. Yeah, I don't think there was many teachers that were there when my uncles who went to the same school, who were like 10, 15 years older than me. I don't think there was anyone left. But my sister ended up going to my school, and it was unfortunate because I was such a really good boy and everyone loved me. And then she never lived up to my reputation. Oh, Ashcroft, are you related to Nick? Yeah, he's my brother. Oh, we love Nick. She pissed her off even more and more. Goody two-shoes, were you? No, I just never got caught, you dickhead. Haven't thought of moonlighting in a minute. It was fantastic, wasn't it? Absolutely superb. Ali Ali O. Ali 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 O. Piggly Ding reset. He was replaced by Larry the Lamb in Wales. What was that for? You learned more in Thumper's classes. Because you were shitting yourself, that's why. Boarding school, your headmaster would come down to the communal bath and had a ledger and would take notes, say some random shit and leave. Oh man, horrible. I tried to get hubby to watch it on stream and he couldn't get into it. It really is a solid 80s experience. You had to be there. It was of its time, definitely, but it's superb. I used to love that. That was one of the few US shows that we all used to watch back then. Everybody. It was an intermission school. Intermission. Intermission's different to intermission. I'd be worried there. What are you on about? Ali Ali O, how are you? Ah, Jesus, the amount of rain. Is it fierce rain? The rain is fierce. That means we're getting it. It has rained quite a lot here today as well. But the camera didn't break. I actually think this lens might be slightly water sealed, weatherproofed, and it's got a cap on the top as well, so that might not be too bad. And it's in a cage, so that might keep some of the rain off as well. Nice, nice, nice. Bazzy, how you doing? How are you? Kristalosevic. Shocking, absolutely shocking. Your headmaster once at a swimming pool told your mate with a big Albert dock, you can take the cold faucet, you can handle it. What? Mad, innit? Sod that. We had none of that. There was no swimming, there was no getting showered, nothing. The teachers couldn't be trusted. How bad's that? That was during the 80s as well, like, it wasn't like 50s, 60s, 70s when it was absolutely rampant. Mind you, I was lucky. Especially with the PE teachers. The PE teachers were sound. Our ones were absolutely fantastic. One of which ended up being at Everton as a youth coach. And I think he's now the director of football at Plymouth Argyle. Mr. Dewsnip, top fella. It's funny to hear which of your shows are picked up over in the UK. You think, Are You Being Served was huge on both the PBS station you grew up with in Michigan and the station here. We had loads of American shows, but not too many were actually watched with as much gusto as Moonlighting. I was thinking about this earlier on. I love Red Dwarf. I absolutely love Red Dwarf. And I've been listening to a podcast on Spotify about it, where they ask people, how did you first get into it, and what's your favourite character, all this kind of stuff. And I was thinking, when I first started watching it is when it first came out in the late 80s. Because at the time we were watching that, Blackadder, Drop the Dead Donkey, all these shows that were on BBC Two and Channel 4 we used to watch all the time. We wouldn't watch too many American shows, but Moonlighting was one that everybody in our school, at least, used to absolutely love. Not exactly a water cooler show, but one of those ones that everyone would talk about the following day. Probably because of the chemistry between Bruce and Sybil. Being naked is unfortunately a common thing there. And for us that blush and don't like flaunting genitals, yeah. I suppose if you're born into it, that's part of your culture. It's a bit easier than the UK. We talked about this with Hadwig, didn't we? About going to the sauna. Brits would never go to a sauna because it's not within us to do that kind of thing. Unless, of course, you are just a big show-off. So obviously I'd be all right in the sauna, but no. We snigger at stuff like that. But we don't like it, do we? It's naughty. Naked's naughty. We don't like it. Weird Brits. Speaking of school, you were totally enthralled by the will they, won't they? You cut out a newspaper article the day after they did and took it with you. It got taken away but returned at the end of the day. That's when you know you've really bought into it, haven't you? Absolutely. Yeah, Australian stuff. Neighbours, Home and Away. Very much cult status. At the same time, there was also Prisoner Cell Block H, which used to be on. That used to confuse the life out of me because it was on Granada and would be up to a certain point, and then Harlech, you'd be on there and it'd be like 4 series behind, and then Central would have it on that you could also pick up, and then that'd be 2 series ahead. Mad thing, fam. Are you doing social media before the internet? Trailblazer, Sam, you're a trailblazer. Absolutely. You hate that part of the culture, even though it's born into you. Not everyone agrees with it, do they? Not everyone likes it. Your dad had the same genitals as you but never cared. Told me you don't like it. You asked, are you embarrassed? Yeah. Why aren't you? Some people just aren't, are they? Yeah, it's always objectionable to authority figures. Yeah, absolutely. That culture thing as well, funnily enough, I was reading something on the Guardian website earlier on. There's a good column that they do. The thing that changed my life. And it's loads of people just talking about things that happened to them in their life that made them look at things differently. And there was a woman on there who said she hated her body. I think she was growing up during the 80s as well. And it was all this, when you first start getting bombarded with magazines and everyone needs to be size 0 and this stuff. And she hated it. Hated the way she looked. And she went to I think she's in Canada or somewhere. Some kind of summer camp where it was just full of hippies, and they had this outdoor shower area. And then she was just so into everything that didn't seem to bother her. She actually went and got a shower in front of loads of people naked. And then she realised everybody was different. Everybody was the same. Everybody had the same insecurities but didn't care about it. And her body was no different to anybody else's, apart from being different to everybody else's. She didn't have like 14 legs and 9 tits or something. You're just another woman. That was the thing that changed it. Suddenly I wasn't really bothered about my body anymore. I knew people looked slightly different, but we all had the same insecurities. And if you don't care about it, it doesn't affect you. That was great, that. It does take some diviners, that though, doesn't it? To just be able to get up there and show everything you've got. So I'm led to believe. I haven't done it. Apart from playing football, obviously. As a man, you sort of get used to that, don't you, playing football? Wandering around, seeing people flossing themselves with a towel and stuff. Not good. Especially as I play football with a load of fellas who are in the 50s and 60s. Not good. Perhaps growing up with a National Geographic subscription. Ah, right. Give you a healthier and more neutral feeling about bodies. Absolutely. Because it's not seen as anything horrible or dirty at that point either, is it? It's just, this is nature. Everyone looks the same and different. Just, yeah, be comfortable. You mate with the bonded over both being uncomfortable showering. Yeah, for those of us who no, some do, some don't. If you're average, aren't you? If you're not, either side of average, or if you're not happy with the way it looks, or overly happy with the way it looks, you can still be uncomfortable in front of other people. Definitely. So I've been told. It's big enough to fill a pram, that's all you need, isn't it? Still hot. I feel I live with Jeff. Jeff has no problems. Yeah, but I suppose I missed out on all that as well. Like I say, our school, they wouldn't allow showering. Or, they never made it compulsory. So nobody did. Because the teachers couldn't be trusted. Well, our teachers could. Our teachers were all right. Like I say, the PE teachers were sound. Other ones, oof, not a chance. Not a chance. Would you like me to bring you your shower gel? Get out of this fucking place now before I punch you. Can I scrub your back? No. Oh. I'm glad that we got through all that anyway. Until third grade the boys and girls shower together. Again, it's part of that thing, isn't it, where Europeans in general don't have as many hang-ups as us Brits especially. We just get nervous about every last little thing to do with the body. And if you're used to it, it's no big deal, is it? Until you reach a certain point where it does become a big deal. At that point, it has to bloody stop, obviously. But it's mad the way things are different around the world. Different places, different attitudes. I couldn't believe it when we moved to the Netherlands. During the summer, I go to like my friend's house and the mums, wherever, we're just walking around topless. It's like, looking at them going, is this fucking normal? Is this normal? It's like, yeah, of course it is. Isn't it normal where you come from? No, it is not. Bizarre. But then if you are used to that, it becomes less about titillation and more just about, this is what people look like. I don't know. I couldn't work it out. I think I was still a bit too English back then. Didn't seem right. Just wasn't cricket. Very weird. But even back then, I mean, things like topless beaches. That used to be Benny Hill, didn't it? Everyone used to laugh about them, topless beaches in Europe. Europeans didn't bother in the slightest. No one was going there to stare at women. It was just, that's the way things are. Not for your local Brit, no. Lad, there's a new beach down the road, lad. Get the telescope. Fucking idiots. To be fair, the Danish average is like 6.5 inches. So you're average in the UK, but not here. Just pick which country makes you sound best, wherever you go in the world. I think you'll find I'm average compared to the UK. I'm above average for Singapore. I don't know, is Singapore, but I haven't got a clue. Never been to Singapore. Back when your parents first got cable TV installed, Sam, there was a channel that must have been for medical students. It included how to do various kinds of exams with the occasional naked patient. I'm taking the exams are medical exams You're not sitting your English exam with someone just sitting there with their danglies out. You're double the Korean average. See, that's the kind of stuff that you need to use. Hey, big boy. Big. I think you'll find I'm double the Korean average. I think I'm a smidge under the Korean average. Just a smidge. Again, isn't that weird? We're all humans. There's no difference in human beings. And yes, there is. There's lots of differences with human beings. I suppose we're lucky as lads. The things that we have to worry about are not as immediately visible as women. All those years of women saying, does my bum look big in this? If you said to them yes, they'd be devastated. If you say no nowadays, they'd be gutted. Whereas for us, it's covered. The thing that we need to worry about. It's not thighs, it's not bum, is it? It's not like all the other things that women get judged on. Ours, we only get judged once. That's it. Ali, you had a call. You are back. Modelling how to interact with and examine the patient for that complaint, stroke disorder. Right, yeah. Not just sitting there doing geography, naming the capitals of the world. Although that would be a hell of a programme to watch, that, wouldn't it? I think I'd take more in at that point. Tom was around earlier on. He is around somewhere. Watch this space. He'll be back. Yes, the height to length average doesn't correspond at all. What are you trying to say, Casper? Your 9-inch mate is 6'1", and your old 6'8" roomie is. It concerns me that you know exactly how accurate the measurements are. Yeah. It is probably a genre of video. Definitely, there's something for everyone, isn't there? If the backs of knees is a niche, naked geography has got to be another one, definitely. Absolutely. Speaking of backs and knees, my knee is killing me today. I've not even been for my walk. I haven't been to Tesco. I've barely walked. I don't even think I've done 1,000 steps today. It is an amazing amount of detail for your friends. It is. But if you live with them, or you're in boarding school, you're with them all the time, I suppose. You do tend to know a bit more about them than you would your average classmate. My mate was 5'10" at school. That's all I know, really. That was about it. It's as far as it went. I can't imagine boarding school. I don't know how I'd take it. Some people love it, don't they? Some people absolutely hate it, and then others just seem to thrive. Your friend in boarding school, called Lisa, commissioned a list of all dudes' lengths. We made that and called it the Red King Standard. Patent pending. Alright, the Red King's Standard. I like that. It's a sort of a who's who, isn't it? And you couldn't tell you the height of your friends. It's a thing for lads, especially teenage lads growing up. It becomes a thing. The other thing I don't think is a thing at that point, but your height. Yeah. Which is why I knew I'd grown from 5'10" to 6'4" in 6 months. Because I'd gone from the same height as me mate to suddenly towering over him. And he was tall at school. 5'10's not really tall, is it, for a fella? Luckily, 99% of people give zero fucks about a partner's penis size. Exactly. Absolutely. Thankfully. Yeah, it's what you do with it, isn't it? How skilled you are as a swordsman. Not how big your blade is. Saying that, there are size queens out there, aren't there? Why though? Is it like a badge of honour? I don't get it. I don't get it. Works, doesn't it? That's all you need. As long as it works and you get a kid, or if you want a kid anyway, you get a kid out of it. Much better. And even more so, everything other than PIV is way more important to most partners. Yeah. Much more. Intimacy. Hugging afterwards and things like that, you know. Stuff that fellas don't do because you just shout Geronimo and then roll over. Red Kings is a brand of cigarettes. Right, if you remove the plastic and was able to fit it through the... That was the first measurement. Right. Then came length and girth. You even did a dunk in the water too. What? To get the volume. I don't know. I didn't realise it was cigarettes. Just like the Red King standard sounds like something that could have been from the Knights of King Arthur. The Long Knights of King Arthur. Yeah. Part of the problem is focusing so much on preventing pregnancy is that kids think that's the be-all and end-all of it, and it isn't, obviously. I think some of the kids need to be taught it isn't, but also respect is part of it. Like the person you're with, talk to them, treat them with respect, treat them with dignity. There's a bit more to it than just that, isn't there? Mandy, how's your book reading going? Red King standard sounds like a chapter in a Game of Thrones. Exactly. That's what it sounds like. My liege, this man has attained the Red King standard. And you hear all handkerchiefs being dropped on the floor and swooning ladies. So it makes sense to me. As usual, slow starting. Are we talking about the books there, or everything else that we're talking about? What is it now? Is it 4 now, is it, or 5 or something you're up to? How many have you got? As a health educator of college students, so not even kids, this is a major thing to try and straighten out for them, and that STIs can come from things other than, yeah. They can, of course. And do. Not just can, they do as well. Don't just think because you're not doing the alarm that you sound. Still booked. 5 out of 10. Which means once you get to book 8 out of 10, it'll then suddenly be book 8 out of 14 or something, won't it? Personally, you didn't go through the Red King's pack, so that pricked the girl's ears up. Right. Is that where you got your reputation from? The King of Red Kings. El Rey Rojo. El Rey Rojo. Only 34 of the 70 guys did that. Nerding out on genital size is so weird. It is a bit, isn't it? Booked 4. Jeff doing overtime. Jeff is doing overtime every night. Jeff is also a pain in the ass. Jeff needs to start posting on his channel though, I think. Jeff needs to think what Jeff needs to post on Jeff's channel. That's a Christian boarding school for you, absolutely. I've heard that. Johnny Vegas was talking about going to was it a boarding school, or he tried for the priesthood, but you had to go there when you were young. Didn't sound good at all. Are you still going through them? Absolutely. You won't stop our Mandy from reading. Not knitting anymore though, are you? You've not knitted anything in a while, have you? Have you? Too busy making on-screen assets, that's what it is. The on-screen asset queen. Oh, man. Open that Wendy a wee bit. Some fresh air in, man. It's suddenly warm in here. I wonder if the heating's been put on. No. Strange. Slowly, it's not helping that the timelines and characters keep swapping. You said that last time as well, didn't you? It's hard to keep I can't even think what I'm thinking of now. To keep the timeline going. One guy had a 32 centimetre monster. Married a Christian girl who didn't know better. Yeah, she might think all guys are like that. Come as a hell of a shock to her. Mind you, if she's a Christian girl, there should be no divorce. Should only be one man in her life. Hot flush. Could have been. I might have started the menopause, mightn't I? Bit late, but I might have started the menopause. I've not done enough to have a hot flush. I've not done anything today. Apart from being a fantastic, wonderful, superb, funny and unpredictable chauffeur to my daughter. I've got to make sure I get up early in the morning. Remind me to get up early in the morning. Despite the fact that I don't have to be up early in the morning, I have to get up early in the morning. Got to phone up that garage about her car. I used to tell him, please don't bike, it might get caught in the chain. Oh, holy shite. Just the thought of that has made me sick. Barnsley, where's your tea? Do you want a tea? Would you be after wanting a tea? Have a nice bucket of tea. English breakfast. 2 tea bags. Milk in second. No sugar. There you go, sorted. How many heaters have I got running? None at all. I have had the heater on in here earlier on because it was a little bit cold. So I stuck it on for 5 minutes and the entire room is now just full of lava. I didn't get a lava lamp, no. Unfortunately, I have to keep an eye on my spending this month. I have things I might have to get. Well remembered. I know it's tea, isn't it? Nothing else sticks in my mind but tea. I'm there. The one little heater that I bought, the little fan heater, the Hall & Oates, that was brilliant. That was fairly cheap from Argos. And it works absolute wonders. The only thing you need to do with it is you need to hoover it out regularly. Don't let the dust get into it. And it smells like the whole world's going to go on fire. Just hoover it out. Doesn't half work well though. 5 minutes and this entire room is red hot. Monster. Tea. New wardrobe for post-pitification, quite possibly. I don't know, what would a post-pitified Nick look like? What would he be wearing? I'm thinking polo neck. Or like a nerdy scarf and a peacoat or something. Just looking off into the middle distance. We shall see. Tomorrow it's going to be cloudy and 13 Celsius. Saturday it's going to be sunny. Oh man, have you seen any of the aurora, northern lights? Last night my phone pinged. I say last night, it was this morning to be honest with you. About 2 o'clock in the morning, and it's the highest red I've seen ever. Because the Aurora Watch app has got like green, yellow, amber, red. Green, there's no aurora. Yellow, there's a little bit. Amber, oh, this is starting to get good. Red, you will definitely see it. The red is the highest I've ever seen on the chart, and it was just too late, too cold. I think there might have been a little bit of rain. How's my car? My car's fantastic. My car's doing great for now. Nehru suit. Oh, a Nehru suit would be good, wouldn't it? Look into that. Jess is annoyed that she hasn't got her car out, but also delighted that I could pick her up of a morning and drop her off, because she gets extra time with Dad, and let's face it, I'm awesome. Sorry, I'm awful. You haven't seen it, no? I didn't see it. I did not see it, Casper. But I do keep an eye on the app, and if it does get to red, I try and get outside as much as possible. But last night, I was just far too late, and the fucking bar was like that. 6 bajillion. Sam, you're obsessively chasing any legitimate live stream for Aurora in various cities in the US and Canada last night. Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? I know it would be a little bit of a distance for it to hit you. It has happened now. Posted a couple to your YouTube so you can look again today. If I get another ping tonight, I don't care. The camera is ready. The big lens. It's ready to go. We will just run straight outside and see what we can get.
Piggly ding. Next.
Piggly ding. Next. Anyone else want to go behind the bar? New clothes, a tweed sports jacket. Oh. Now, Christine, a tweed sports jacket. Yes or no? Do we have elbow patches? Your mates in Faroes and Greenland, they always tease you when they have it. Lucky bastards. They actually make it down to the Gulf in some spots. Alabama and some in Texas as well. It doesn't happen very often, does it? But when you've got a really, really proper one, it does. It comes all the way down. You can see it all over the bloody planet at times. No elbow patches. Are we thinking maybe because that looks a bit too much like a geography teacher? Not very Brad Pittified. Tweed sports jacket. It was more of a magenta blob. Couldn't get a good pick. It's a shame. Check out Sam's channel. So you have, haven't you? Let me ping in there. Sam, I'm pinning you as we speak. Oh, sorry. Yes, sir. Oh, don't be doing that. Don't start giving me delusions of grandeur. Is my app global or just the UK? I think you set it to where you live, but this one's based in the UK. So what you get is, there's somewhere up in Glasgow, I think. And wherever it is up in Glasgow, it will tell the rest of the country, expect to see this much. Not much still there, but going slow intentionally. But you can do, though. Just take it at your own time, don't you? You don't want to be in a rush. But YouTube is there, and you've got the opportunity to put out what you want when you want. You don't need to stick to a time scale. Some people put videos out 3 times a week on the same days at the same time. Just do what you want when you want. And if it becomes more serious and it's more about growth, then you can start doing the playing the game. But no, it's great. The greatest democratization of the arts in history is YouTube. Plus, cat videos. Rarely goes further south than Paris, which is like North Dakota. Alright, so seeing it in the lower 48 seems close to impossible. It does though, but very, very rarely. Very rarely. You do see it every year there, but not like every day in winter. It pisses me off that people live in places not too far away from here where they do see it every day. You know, northern Sweden, Norway, Iceland, Greenland, Faroes. Just look up and there it is. How mad is it? And people take it for granted. Just fucking look at this, man. This account is more for experiment. So when you do the bird nature one, it will start out more refined. Exactly, you'll learn so much from it. Definitely learn so much. You'll find your own vibe, man. Jinxie Jungle Juice, bit of Triple J. Where's me washboard? Oh, Jeff's been watching the Fast Show, has he? Have you seen it? Aye, have you seen it? I'd have that. I would have that right now, look at that. Even though it's a summer drink, I'd have that right now. But yeah, YouTube's brilliant. And also, Sam, don't forget, now that you're looking at starting and doing a bit more, you've got the entire community behind you as well. Like when I was telling Jay on that chat that we did, one of the best things you can do is just get involved. Get involved in community. Become a part of a community, because when you start your own channel, the whole community will go, oh, brilliant. This is our mate from the community. Let's all get behind them. And we will. We are. We do. It'll be more narrowly topical. Don't want to ever raise the old videos that you've had on here from work life. Absolutely. Got to keep that stuff, man. Ali, how's the job going? How is the job going? Grand, still trying to get used to stuff. Oh, right, sorry, that's Louise asking you, how's the job going? Have you acquired the target, she means. Have you acquired the target? Have you oiled your rifle? How are the sights? You know what I'm saying? Huh? You know what I'm saying? But you might find as well, Sam, you might find that YouTube becomes more addictive as well. Once you start being able to just put out what you feel like and get on a roll, it does become quite addictive. I love it. Absolutely love it. To the point where when my car was in and I couldn't do me little chatting while I'm driving videos, I felt lost. I felt bereft. And now I can do them again. What drink did you get? Lulu Bellatini got a Jinxie Jungle Juice, which is very nice. Whereas I have Dolphin Friendly Earl Grey, almond milk, one sweetener. Still hot. Sponsor me thermos, you bastards. I meant to send our Jinxie a message earlier. I'll have to do it in the morning. See how she's getting on. Oh, if this is a hot flush, this is definitely a hell of a hot flush. I feel warm. You can always make those vids private. You can, or unlisted. You can still share links if you want certain people to see them. You can. You don't have to be up for everyone to see if you don't want them to. They're always there. Almond milk. I love almond milk. Sure, you'll get there, Ali. So you will. You will. George Michael there. Gotta have faith there. Murmur. Jess has started doing that, by the way. Not only during a test was she listening to George Michael in her head, but just walks around places going, murmur. And I don't think I've failed her. Not at all. That you know what, I think Jinxie Jungle Juice is a drink we can all get behind. If you want to throw a vodka in there, you can do. Do what you like here. The good thing about this place. I keep thinking it's Sunday and it's not. Checking the time to make sure I'm pressing the buttons at the right time. There's no need to press any buttons tonight. Apart from... Oh, I did find earlier as well, by the way, I found the Christmas song is on there. So I've mapped a button on the Stream Deck and it's ready to go. Can't believe that's a year already. How mad is it? You do want to keep the other one very neutral, like a special interest to focus on? Absolutely. more like the work accounts you used to run, not something about you. So less for haters to fixate on. Yeah, that's the only problem, isn't it, with YouTube? There are some absolute knobheads involved. And if you can attach someone to the channel, or something to the channel, yeah, it gives them something to definitely fixate on. Which is why, of course, Vic's been very smart about not getting herself on camera, apart from suddenly today she's on camera. But even then, put the text in a very, very good place. But also, do you know what? YouTube, alright, there are some knobheads around, but YouTube in general is so much more positive than other social media platforms. There's lots of constructive criticism, there's lots of support, and there's lots of people who are just interested in asking questions. Not too much bad stuff, thankfully. You watch a barista in Canada that gets so many haters that bounce between YouTube and TikTok just to mess with her. What? Why? TikTok can be horrible at times. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's no need to have a go at a barista. Have a go with the people who are ordering stupid drinks in coffee shops. The barista's just doing their job. Has she said something? Has she said anything sort of controversial? Or is it just that people are pissed off? That's what normally happens. Someone will say something, a throwaway remark, and then they upset a certain section of society, and there's a pile on. Or it'll be someone who's ridiculously good looking or wealthy or something, or who's got like something that sets them apart, and then people are jealous. Ridiculous. If you don't like her, don't watch. Block her. Don't recommend channel. Just piss off somewhere else and watch what you want to watch. You'll get trolls wherever your content. People are dicks. Yes, but yeah, but no, but yeah, but yeah, you will occasionally. But like I say, I've had virtually no trolls, no bad comments on my stuff, despite looking the way I do, sounding the way I do, and talking about the stuff that I do. Deaf Mandy, which sounds like a really, really niche music label. You got trolled today at work and that was on a Teams chat. I'm not in your work, Louise. Otherwise, you know I would. Horrible that, isn't it? Used to dividing the haters between a topical and personal sphere. Alright, there was one bishop in town, one of the few Francis removed from working here. That guy was amongst your haters. What? Hating you for ideological reasons is what it is. Leave your birds alone. Absolutely. And then we sing Pink Floyd to them, don't we? Oi, dickhead. Leave my birds alone. Tell us more, Lou. Tell us more. What did you do? Did you put up a fight? Who said it? Should we get a sharabang together? Get all of us in a bus, go and knock shite out of him for you. Did he not know? Don't mess with a Pendle witch. They'll wake up in the morning looking like a toad. Or maybe they already do. How could you troll our Louise? I mean, come on. How could you? She gives you a flake with it and all kinds. Evils. Teams is horrible, isn't it? Do you get the same dread that I do whenever you hear a ping? Is it a ping on Teams? Isn't it a ping? Every time I hear one of those, oh, what's this now? What fresh hell could this possibly be? Has anyone bought milk? Alright, that's alright, that's not too bad. That's also one of the main things that we have on the WhatsApp channel. We've got a works WhatsApp. Has anyone bought milk? And the occasional one where, oh, I'll be late coming in as, you know, the entire street's on fire. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Get us some milk on the way in. He went and re-sanctified an area on campus. The Catholic student org used on campus because of an ecumenical event. That would be an ecumenical matter you did for National Coming Out Day. You watched him and his minion while at another event. Oh, Sam.
It's going up, 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 it's there.
It's there. Go on, Sam, you leveled up. Do you think you're small because of the camera angle on the meetings? You're going to turn up that office one day and slap him into next trading year. Louise as well, as by the way, is 6'12". Massive. Bang, get in there, lad. Don't mess with Louise, man. All those years of eating barbecued yak. Lucky number 13 after talking about the bishop that despised you. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Louise, change the camera angle on the meetings. Have the camera angle right down here and just stand up. Hover over them. I know that works as well. It's quite funny. I've had a few occasions where I've stood up after someone's been having a go at me and then suddenly they go, oh. Yes. Don't mess with his biggies. Oh, man. This is definitely hot tonight. Oh, there's been an amber alert now. It's starting to heat up outside. And by heat up, I mean the aurora. I'll see if I can find it now for you. See, that's what it looks like. So if it's green, there's not much chance. Yellow a little bit. Amber, ooh, you might see it. Red, get outside now. Early hours this morning, it was mad. Used to wear a long black maxi cardigan in the office there. Your nickname then was Darth Vader. Oh, man. Is your voice that deep? Is it really? Definitely go outside earlier tonight and see if there's anything to capture on the phone. Some of the stuff you will see through the phone, even as you're just holding it up. You won't see with your eye, unless you've been out in the dark for ages. But your phone just shows it up straight away. Tall lass Mrs. Bellatini, she is. She's a big one. The nickname at school would have been Get the Ball Off the Roof, wouldn't it? Mine was Get the Ball Off the Roof. Nice speaking voice. Have you got a nice speaking voice? You talk for ages. I thought you sounded like a Manx Scully. Or is that just the photo? Is that what that is? Signora Bellatini. You want to flake with that, love? What's Italian for do you want to flake with that, love? I haven't got a clue. You sound like Daphne or Fraser. Fraser. I can't remember his name. Daphne. So you don't sound like a Manc at all, because she doesn't, even though she says she's from there. It's an epic nickname. You're a massive cardigan wearer. Or you are a massive cardigan wearer. Always cold in your buildings. You can't go wrong with a cardi, can you? With an Oliver Hardy, with an Imre Varadi. Oh, Louise, cover your ears. You know what's coming next. Irish red beer. I would drink that right now. And after that, of course, Louise needs pee break, pee break. Lancashire, Yorkshire lass. She's only up the road as well. It's bizarre. I always think Yorkshire's absolutely miles away, but it's not. It is miles away, obviously, but, you know, not that far, is it? Love a good cardi. I love a cardi as well. Who wants... I'll have that. Coldest in summers, of course, so you probably destroy the environment with extreme AC. All the better to bring on the end of days. You've suddenly gone dark here, Sam. You got dark. Is this because of Darth Vader being on here? Yeah, I had Louise will have it, definitely. You made a beef casserole with Guinness today. That works really well, doesn't it, beef and Guinness? I haven't had a Guinness in ages. The Guinness Zero is quite nice. When I say quite nice, it's really nice, actually. Guinness is dark. Very dark. It is dark. Drink Guinness in the dark in the park for a lark. I like it. I used to be a Guinness drinker all the time until we had a really hot summer. And you can't drink Guinness during the hot summer. Well, you can, but not too much of it. So we went on to the lager, and I just stayed a lager drinker after that. I became a lager lout. I love a Guinness though. The Zero really does taste good. I've drunk a lot of Guinness in my time, so I know what it's supposed to taste like. The Zero's pretty decent, to be honest. We always got a good reputation for our Guinness in the pub. The Irish fellas loved it. Fellas from Dublin loved our Guinness. The only time they hated it was after we'd cleaned the lines. There's a tipping point. You can't leave it too long, otherwise the lines get full, but if there's a little bit of yeast in the lines, that just makes it taste so much creamier. Have you cleaned the lines? Yeah, Guinness tastes fucking awful today. Just shut up and get on with it. You'd say it tenderises the meat, but it might set Casper off again. And not everyone can handle a 9-inch steak, can they? It takes forever to pour. You were a barmaid once upon a time. So was I. Well, barman. Our Mandy was a barmaid as well. I loved my time working behind the bar. For me, it was like being on stage. Only they couldn't get me off. I was on there until my shift finished. You couldn't boo me off. I was just there. End of story. Bastard, what do you call me? Loved it. Loved it. Would never do it again, but I loved it. I learned so much. The secret of comedy. Timing. How to wind people up beyond belief. It's brilliant. Don't miss the pub one little bit, but I do miss the people. That's what makes a pub, isn't it? The people. With the right people, any bar can be good. With the wrong people, any bar, no matter how good it is, can be bloody awful. You love being a bar steward, not so much being a licensee. There's more headaches being a licensee, isn't there? There's more just managing a pub. Ours used to be a managed house. Whitbread pub. Part of Bowland Inns. So all the stuff with profit and loss and stock and order and all that shit. I used to hate doing that. It had to be done, but I used to hate it. Wouldn't mind doing that sort of thing, but in the right kind of establishment, the right geographic location. It would have to be the right place, definitely. And you end up, it's a bit like, I don't know, a bit like being a taxi driver or a hairdresser as well. People tend to just open up to you all the time. As soon as you start talking to them, they spill what's going on in their life. So you're not only, for me, not only a comedian or a wannabe actor or whatever it was, being on stage, was also having to listen to people, be a shrink. Was a country pub. Whereabouts? That'd be different, being a country pub. It's not quite the same as being in the middle of a city or a town, is it? You were a licensee too at Lulu Bellatini, off licence, only time you ever stood in the dock. Have you still got your licence plate? Lulu Bellatini is licensed to sell intoxicating liquors. What do you call me? Losing the plot here, aren't I? Near Retford. Where the pissing hell's Retford? Why have I heard of that? Retford. Ah, right. Why have I heard that? Yeah, I know. Yeah, I thought it might be nuts, like, but I was wondering why I know Retford. I can't fucking speak today. What was wrong with me? That means something to me, and I don't know what. Either I know someone who's either been from there or has done something there. It stayed over the door. Did you not get it when you left? My dad never kept his. Not sure. Are you allowed to keep them? A lot of people used to keep theirs back in the day and stick it over the garden shed. Turn the shed into a little garden bar. Market town. Just looked on the map. It's not that far away from workshop, is it? I must have known someone who's worked there. Got friends who've done jobs all over the country. All these mad little places that I've never heard of before. King's Cross to Edinburgh goes through us. Ah, that's not it, because I've never been to Edinburgh or King's Cross. Well, I've been to King's Cross, but I had to walk there. Our trains go to Euston and Glasgow. Only been to Scotland once. Isn't that a crime? Is that not a crime? Never been to Edinburgh. Not far from workshop, yeah. No, it can't be football. Been to Long Eaton. That was with football. And where else? There's a couple of places I went with the Skem United team. Yeah, it wasn't that. I know it from somewhere. It's going to annoy me now. Louise, how's the weather? That high up. 38,000 feet plus 6 feet 12. You're talling as are, Louise. Pendle Witch and part-time goal attack, I think you are, aren't you? Goal attack for the British Lionesses. Vindy. Always Vindy. It always is, isn't it? Genuinely. She's willowy as well. Windy and the Willowies. It's mad how windy it is on the top of very high mountains, by the way. Like things like Everest, the tip of Everest, Casper's mate again, the tip. That actually sometimes, depending on conditions, pokes into the jet stream. So you've got proper full-on, ridiculous 170 odd mile an hour winds. There's no need. Bloody stair rods been fairly coming down for the past 2 days. It has rained a lot, hasn't it? Genuinely has rained a lot. And yet, how mad was that yesterday? The rain will stop at 8 o'clock. Oh yeah, we'll see that. Literally 2 or 3 minutes later it had stopped. How did it know? Same over there as well. Yep, that's Ireland for you. Do we have any more storms coming? Sure, I read somewhere the other day. In fact, I never read anywhere. That's a complete lie. The Met Office on Instagram put something up the other day, and I couldn't work it out. Carol Kirkwood, powerful that one. Game recognises game. From one powerful chica to another. Carol Kirkwood. She's the weather lady off. Is it BBC she's on? I don't watch any of this whatsoever, by the way. I think the only time I ever watched anything like that used to be in hotels when I went away with work. If I was going somewhere for a meeting, I have to get up early in the morning, just stick it on, don't you? And just so you're not there on your own, crying, first thing in the morning. Yeah, I don't watch any of that. Fucking hate daytime and morning, especially morning TV. Having not had to take Jess for weeks, I've missed out on all that. And then the last couple of days, annoying the life out of me. Richard Madeley, Room 101. In fact, so much so that I'd like to clone him as well, so I put more than one Richard Madeley in Room 101. You need the weather for work. Is this, I don't know, is this for planes leaving and coming in? Do you need to know about strong winds? I suppose I'm lucky that way, aren't I? I don't need any of this shite. Just rock up, log in, get on with stuff. Doesn't matter what's happening in the world. If there's something bizarre happening that stops people importing or exporting, that's their problem, not mine. I'll do as much as I can for you and then you're on your own. There's cray-cray. The weather forecast used to be utterly shit, didn't it? I mean, genuinely, absolutely awful. Whatever they said, dress for the opposite. Whereas now, they're pretty good. Crosswinds for crosshairs, it's absolutely see. I didn't want to say it, Mandy, but you got there. You knew it. That's where you got to start. You got to start taking it into consideration, haven't you? And also how far away you are, because the bullets also dip when they're going over the curvature of the earth with gravity, and a Coriolis effect as well. These snipers are really bloody good at what they do, you know. Yeah, shh, say nothing, say nothing. Yeah, it's I need to know the winds for work. Yeah, you know, planes. Of course there is. Target acquired. Click, click. I watched a programme on that, funnily enough. And they mentioned snipers. And they showed you the difference between however far it was and then however far the next one was. This is where this bullet would hit here. But once you go so far behind it, it then starts dropping, so you have to aim above people's heads. Love to know what programme that was on. BBC, obviously. You spin me right round, baby, like a record, baby, right round. Which is ironic, really, isn't it? Because we're talking about hurricanes and the Coriolis effect and stuff like that, and we were spinning round. It was meant to be. Murmur. The fuck's that now? Guinea pigs family. What have you put on this bloody jukebox? Fucking lunatics. Don't hear that often. It might become an earworm for you. More 80s goodness. We love 80s goodness here. I've got an entire playlist where I had to stop myself being cool. Don't just do cool 80s. Not just Echo and the Bunnymen, The Cure. Throw in some ABC, Thompson Twins, all that kind of stuff. But a Spandau Ballet. You're too cool for Spandau Ballet, aren't you? No, bang it in there. Whatever you like, just stick it in there. If it feels good, just stick it in there. That's Spotify for you. Yeah, oops of mine, oops, Mandy. What have you done? What is this? What's it from? How's it ended up on there? Is that like the modern version of the Addams Family? The Guinea Pigs Family? Diddly-doo. Possibly not. Do I need to update the Bears Paws jukebox on my phone, by the way? Have you added more stuff recently? I know I haven't done a Reason the Rhyme in ages, have I? And I mean ages. I shall have to record 2 of them over the next week or so, just to put some stuff online. I was thinking of something the other day. I've written it down somewhere. A slight deviation on the reason, the rhyme. Same thing, but slightly different. A bit of a special. Wonder if I can get that made. I'll have to write this one though. Actually write it down. The Bears Paws jukebox is very varied. You didn't have the guinea pig thing. It is very varied. There are some incredibly strange stuff on there. How you can go from... What have we got? Is the classical on there? 80s. There's a bit of grunge and stuff. And then 1970s prog rock. There's all kinds. It's a pity we can't get it so people can listen to it at the same time. Because it would have to be... Not everyone will get the same shuffle, will they? Because it just shuffles randomly. If everyone got the same shuffle, I press start and everyone just follow along. That'd be boss. It's not going to happen, no. It's the Guinea Pigs family from a kids show. It sounds like it is, doesn't it? Here we go, some more 80s. Don't Talk to Me About Love. Altered Images. Oh, man. C.P. Grogan, who was also in Red Dwarf as Kaczynski, the original Kaczynski. You haven't had anything since your latest Reason the Rhyme. Right, so that was about a month. 2 months even, maybe. It's a while ago, isn't it? I wanted to start recording that at the stadium, the Hill Dickinson Stadium last time. And I couldn't because Rossi was screaming and there's music playing. Not bad. Maybe I'll do it next time, but I'll do it from downstairs. Can't hear the music. Still hot. I need to record. I have got stuff written down. I think I've got about 6 episodes written down of The Reason the Rhyme. Just the songs, obviously. Not the links, not what I think about what the stuff is, but that just, I normally freestyle that, to be honest. Press record and just say what I feel. But one of them's interesting, one of them's quite special coming up. I need to record that ASAP Rocky, man. Before it starts getting too wet to record anything. Although saying that, the Osmo Action 4, the action cam that I've got, is waterproof, isn't it? I could throw that into the sea and still record on it. Can we add Carmina Burana by Carl Orff or Barber's Adagio for strings? We can. We can do that. I like both of them. Waterproof is a very good thing. It is, especially in the UK and Ireland, where we have a lot of water, not just surrounding us, but above our heads, bouncing down. That's what surprises me about stuff like this. It's a bloody expensive camera. Why has it not got some kind of waterproofing as standard? Not just waterproofing, dust proofing. That lens does have a gasket, so I'm assuming it's at least splash proof. Have you got the link, Louise? Have you got the link? Stick it in the chat and it'll be added. Can't beat a bit of good advert music. Yep. Was it Carlin? Carmina Burana, was that Carlin Black Label? Wasn't it, with the in the pub and the door opened and the water came flying in, someone on a surfboard. And what was Barber's Adagio for strings for? What was the advertising? I can't remember. It'd be really cutting to be able to record stream outdoors with some level of waterproof. Yeah, fluffy mics for wind. The good thing about the DJI Osmo 4, it's waterproof, but also the little DJI mic mini connects to it wirelessly, so that the camera can literally go in water while you're still talking to it and it still records. Know what I mean? That was aimed at me. All right, that was aimed at me. So I'll just add them later. It's all right. Remind me. In fact, no, sodgers, I'll remind myself. What are you doing? Just so I remember. Have you heard the ping? Have you heard the ping? Old Spice, wasn't it? Yeah. Oh, it was, wasn't it? Yeah. Muy bueno, muy bueno. I have put the Action 4 into the Irish Sea, but it never worked out well. It was too sunny, far too sunny. I will try it once it's a bit more nasty and grey, or British. We'll try and throw it into the Irish Sea and see what happens. Tethered, obviously, I'm not an idiot, but yeah. See if we can get the... But I need to see the sea for that to happen. I've not checked in ages. When's high tide? High tide's really good. I've only got to walk for about 5 miles to get to the sea at that point. I still haven't been to the beach. The weekend was just completely and utterly taken away from me. And I'm working during the week, so I can't. It'll have to be this week coming up. There's no Everton game this week, is there? You had a life-proof case a couple of phones ago and stuck it in your pond to test it out. Not impressive video, but the phone stayed waterproof. That's all you need, Sam. That's all you need. The good thing about those action cams is when they say they're waterproof, they really are. Up to 10 metres, I think they're waterproof too. And you can get covers that go round them that take them to 30 odd metres. What are you doing? Stop it. Bloody thing. But they are good. Stupid bloody thing. Allow, yes, allow. Go on. Plink plonk, what do you call me? That is almost the name of an old busker in Liverpool who's no longer with us, unfortunately. Plinkety plink or plinky plonk. He used to play a cardboard guitar. Everyone loved him. True story. I think he passed away a few years ago. So people would come into the city who didn't know him, just see someone singing along, playing a cardboard guitar and go, oh, what's this idiot, he's rubbish. But everyone from the city just used to give him loads of cash, make sure he was alright. You need more stuff, you need far more characters are needed in this world. Don't have to be cool, don't have to be great, just be sound, be a character. Have a message. Bring joy to people. Put smiles on faces. If we all done that, imagine how much a better world it would be. You have got me, you have. I'm here to do that. I also can't play a real guitar at the moment. Such a shame, man. Yeah. Still got it. Still got it. That's from my new composition. Aria for One-Handed Bastard. You're sounding very Yorkshire there, Lula Bellatini. It was an E. Everything starts with an E. Funny enough, the grade school friend that you said earlier was hit with a stapler, was the first person that showed you how she had a hard plastic case to put around the camera when she vacationed in Flowrider. E sharp, I think you'll find that's an F, Christine, and E sharp's an F. I miss that, you know. I really do miss being able to play guitar. It's horrible. I was watching a YouTube video earlier on. It was an Australian woman who was going on about having to force themselves to be creative. It doesn't come naturally to them. And I sort of felt that, because it does come naturally to me, but not in the environment that I can use at the moment. Picking a guitar up and playing music and writing music I can do fairly easily. Or at least I could until my hand went knackered. That I found really easy. Wandering around with the camera, not good. Is an E flat a D? It isn't. I know you're all about the D, Louise, but no. An E flat is an E flat, or I don't even think it's a D sharp, but it's E, F, F sharp, G, A flat, A, B flat, B, C, D flat, D, E flat, E. There you go. What happens to Jess's car? She has a, what did he call it? An accelerator sensor issue, which means the sensor doesn't know how far down the pedal is pushed, so it doesn't know how much diesel to throw into the engine, which can make it run very, very strange. So it needs to be fixed. Jean's crossed, it'll be fixed tomorrow, and I can go and throw it back to her. There's a creator on here that has a guy that dives and records seals coming up to him. Oh wow. Always reminds everyone you can't touch them because they are protected. Love underwater images. Absolutely, I love stuff like that. There's a really good YouTuber that I watch as well, an Australian Japanese lad, Tatsuki, who, despite growing up in Australia, had never been to the Great Barrier Reef before. So he bought an action camera, one with a proper covering round it, and decided to go to learn how to scuba dive on the Great Barrier Reef and record everything. Absolutely amazing. I know it's not right on his doorstep because Australia is massive, but if you lived somewhere that close to somewhere that nice, you would, wouldn't you? The second biggest coral reef on the planet is off Cuba. We went there, although this is in the days before action cams, so we couldn't get any film at all. And it wouldn't have been any good anyway, because it was a really choppy day, so the visibility was shite. So instead, they brought us into a little cove where there was a shipwreck. And we had a Scooby down there and had a quick look and see what was going on. I looked through a hatch and I saw what looked like a cartoon. Looked like a cartoon shark. It was massive. I think it might have been an eel, but it looked like a cartoon shark. Straight away, I turned round, straight back up. Not having this. I also cut my foot on coral, and blood was coming out, and there are sharks there. Right, get back on the boat. No problemo. But you would, wouldn't you? If you live somewhere nice and you have access to cameras, why wouldn't you? If you have access to wildlife, as long as you're not impinging on their natural lifestyle, you would, wouldn't you? Go and show people what it's like. I love that. Always heard how sharp coral is. Never been undersea exploring. It is the sharpest thing that has ever touched my skin. Ridiculous. Just one of those where it was a slight brush and the next thing you know, blood was pissing out. It was horrible. You really do need to be careful near it. If anyone goes swimming near coral, be very, very, very careful. Hubby Doe, since he was young, I'm not surprised if you get the opportunity to go and do it. Anybody who does it, I am pretty sure would keep on doing it. It's a great way, isn't it? It's like pretty much like going to space, but you can do it yourself. Don't need anyone else, as long as you got the kit. You're going into somewhere completely alien, an environment that we weren't meant to be, with animals that have evolved to live there. Man, crazy. The first people who must have done that. Insane. In membrane. Same as those pearl divers. Just mad. Take one breath, go down there for about 4 hours picking stuff up. You couldn't swim near sea puppies and not pet them. Who's petting your puppies in the sea? Eh? Yeah, they are. You know, it is ridiculous. Seals are genuinely, I am convinced they are related to dogs. They just look exactly the same. You see a dog's head poking out of the water. It's not a seal, it's a dog's head. It ended up being a skill that the Navy and then private security firms found highly desirable. Not sure he'd be into doing it again. Yeah, you've got to be careful with that as well. I went to school with a lad who was an underwater electrician. Did a lot of work in the States, and he ended up, his equipment failed and lost his life at the age of about 26, I think it was. So it's not highly paid, but also very dangerous. Also know people that used to do underwater repair work in the Gulf. A fella called George Bush. Not the George Bush, obviously. So you used to get like a plastic bag full of water, drop it off the side of the ship and then jump in after it. Because that used to make all the sea snakes disappear out the way. Just enough so you can get under the water. Nah, don't care how much they're paying you, mate. I am not doing that. Him and Mad Rossi. Fucking hell, he was a lunatic. How that man made it to adulthood, I will never know. Hope he was colourblind, but yeah, they wanted that at first. It's fucking mad, isn't it? There's so much money to be made in jobs where you have to have a real skill or there's danger involved. But yeah, nah, you're all right. I'd rather just sit here on my sofa, sit here at my desk in my chair, drinking gallons of tea, which is still hot, by the way. Out the way. It's really hard to get electrical work done underwater, especially in conflict zones. Yeah, and they went, so the lads that I know went all over the world doing it, getting paid a huge amount of money, not having to work the full year. Just go and do so many months and your full year's wages come in. But it's too dangerous. Far too dangerous. Electrics and water do not mix. We know that. Poor Al Tunner, I'm sure he was 26. Lovely lad as well. The first week I was in school, he threatened to knock shite out of me. And then my cousin, who was a girl, who was at the same school, pinned him up against the wall and threatened to do severe damage to him. And explained where he'd gone wrong. And we ended up being best mates, his boss. Cracking lad. Very handsome lad. The ladies seem to like him. When I say ladies, 13, 14, 15-year-old girls. His birthday's the 19th of April. So while I was drinking, I always tended to have a pint on the 19th of April. Just to his memory. Nowadays, it's a cup of tea. What can you do, eh? What can you do? That's the kind of job as well, man. How do you get into that? How do you start? Do you start off being a diver and learn how to do electrics? Do you start off doing electrics, learn how to dive? Is it somebody who wants to dive from when they're a kid and then becomes an electrician because the dad was, or the other way around? I don't know. Mad. Yeah, so many folks definitely lost so often. Trying to remember everyone gets more difficult rather. Losing the fucking plot here. Gets more difficult the older you get, but I do try as well. We're very tight in our office. There's 2 floors of us, so there's about 150 people that were on the top 2 floors in our old building that have managed to stay really, really close. Despite people moving into different jobs and all the other bits and pieces, whenever we lose one of them, we have a tendency to come together, and we always end up in the same pub in Liverpool where we'll have a drink, people will cry, people will laugh, there'll be hugs, hands will be held, and we just try and process it between us. No one's died for a while, so this will be the first one, if it does happen, where I'd have to go too sober, but it's got to be done, man. Being in the Gulf a lot as a kid, starting to diving. Navy are the folks that learned he couldn't tell difference between colours. Oh, yeah, for the wire installation. You can't mess around, can you? Yeah. You can't guess. You want the yellow one and the blue one, they all look brown to me, mate. Don't. Come on. I take it he also wasn't a bomb disposal expert. Why can't I speak today? Why? Why, Delilah? Yeah, underwater. Mad. It makes no sense. Obviously things need to be underwater and electrified underwater, but no. Not for me, Clive, not for me. I don't like electric anyway. Never have done. Not since, I don't know, on the top of my thumb there's like a slightly strange, slight discoloration when I was trying to, what was I trying to solder? Something on my guitar. I think it might have been the pickups. Tone pots might have needed resoldering, and the soldering iron short-circuited and blew me across the room. Melted the top of my thumb and a little bit on my finger. Made my chest explode like that. So I felt like I'd inhaled about 4 weeks worth of oxygen at once. That was a wake-up call. Before then I just used to solder guitar cables and all kinds of other bits and pieces. Never touched one since. And always been very, very wary of electric. Don't like it. Absolutely diffused, removed or attached. That sounds like an 8 Mile Radius album now. Oh, 8 Mile Radius, we can't do any more of their music, can we? Suno's shit at doing prog rock. Oh, and you can't use any of it. Oh, fucking, what is going on here? Why is it going ping all the time? Bastard and thing. Yes, shut up, I know. Yes, so don't mess with electric. Also gas. But electric, what was it my mum says? You can't smell it, you can't taste it, you can't touch it, but it will find you. Right, it will. Never liked it. Always wary of it. Being blown across a room. That'll do it for you. I've also not swam in the sea for a long time. I reckon that was probably the last time. Cuba. 2005. 20 years ago since I've swam in the sea. I certainly wouldn't go in the sea. Definitely would not go swimming in there. Bloody freezing for a start. Jet brown. Petrol brown. Although it is cleaned up, isn't it? We do see dolphins and porpoises and things like that. I think killer whales. There's some of them off the coast as well these days. So many things we rely on. Gas, electric and nuclear are so dangerous in the right and wrong circumstance they are. I think, aren't they talking about the next nuclear station being Wales again, Anglesey? Rather than down south. Nuclear, man. It should be cheap. That's what they said, wasn't it? Nuclear energy will be cheap. It's not. It costs billions to build the plants. And then you've got to pay for them. And all the money that you make paying for them goes offshore. Because it's the French who are making them with the Chinese over there. Mandy, you don't like swimming in the sea, only swimming pools or Rill Sun Life Centre Yeah, the sea's a little bit, I don't know. The sea's a bit more dangerous, isn't it? The sea's a bit more avant-garde jazz than the swimming pool. I never used to like it either. Although saying that, Cuba, it was still the Atlantic Ocean as well. It wasn't the Caribbean, it was the Atlantic. And it was absolutely crystal clear, see-through to the point where you couldn't even see it until you stood in it. And it was warm. Just the same water that laps up against Ireland and Scotland, which is more sludgy brown at that point. Ever been up to the ocean in your waist? Just to walk in, not swim? Ray's more of a lake girl. Yeah, some places you go to where it just feels right to go out for a swim in the sea. But I don't like it either. I'm also convinced that the reason why the seas are salty is because of all the fish jizz that's in it. Nah, you're alright. If you don't believe me, just watch those nature documentaries where they show you the bloom. You get blooms of algae. You see that from space. You can also see blooms of sperm. That's in your mouth. That's why it tastes fucking salty. It's horrible. Don't want that. Don't want that. Going to need shed loads more lecky. With all the cars, absolutely, and the thingamajigs for all the computer processing for AI. We will do cars and thingamajigs. That's the reason why there's so much road work going on. Roadwork at the moment. They're replacing electric cables because there's no scope for more electric cars to be getting charged. So having to make much bigger cables that can handle the increased. I can't fucking speak tonight. But yeah, the computer processing for AI is stupid. We're melting the entire planet just so people can make fucking Star Trek porn for each other. Oh, 7 of 69. Yeah, well done. There goes on the polar bear, you dick. Tried swimming from a boat to Zorba, the Greek beach. Gave up and got towed to shore. Towed to shore. It's like trying to save a bloody whale or something. Man, do you like that? How are you getting towed to shore? If you just took a deep breath, you'd have been pushed in on the current. It is disturbing the electric and water usage for AI servers. If it's to cool them down, why not build these AI servers in the poles? They're melting anyway, you may as well melt them. Or 38,000 feet or Mount Pendle. Find somewhere where it's bloody freezing and just put them there. AI, I've been watching a few things lately on YouTube. The tide seems to be turning slightly. AI can be really handy. If you put in there, I need to make a film about something, can you make me a shot list and some ideas of things to film? Comes up with a great, or I've got to do a resume, a CV. Can you put it in the right format for me? Brilliant. Stuff like that. But when it comes to being creative, it can't be. It doesn't learn. AI can't learn. It's all bullshit. LLM. Large language models. Always learning. It isn't. It just isn't. All it takes is what is already known and then spits it back out. To actually be creative, you have to think above what we already know. That's how I've ended up with the International Space Station. That's how we ended up with the Beatles suddenly saying, well, no, this kind of music that we're playing at the moment is not good enough. Let's go and turn the studio into another instrument. That's how you end up with pushing things forward. Only humans can do that. Computers never ever will be able to. AI can only go so far. And of course, garbage in, garbage out. The worse the information that's going in, the worse the stuff that comes out the other end. A data farm, not a thingamajig. Well, a data farm is a thingamajig. Same thing. In fact, many a time you will have heard, what's that thingamajig? Oh, it's a data farm. Only in a slightly more Yorkshire, Lancashire accent than that. But a very nice voice, apparently. Absolutely has legit users. It does. So there's so many downsides. Loads of things that we do have fantastic uses, but also massive downsides. The big problem with this for me is, same as guns, I suppose. They're very, very useful, they're very handy, but we can't control them anymore. It's gone beyond that. AI's the same now. It's gone beyond that point where we can control it and say, right, you're allowed to do this, but there's got to be something in place where it stops it going too far. Was it Nick Clegg, former Liberal Democrat leader, who is now something to do with Facebook, Meta, all that stuff, said about AI, we can't stop using it, we can't stop scraping other people's artistic endeavours, because otherwise it'll mean AI will stop. Well, let it fucking stop then. Don't be trashing copyright laws just so your company can make more money. Otherwise, what's to stop anyone just doing other music based on other people's stuff, you know what I mean? I brought an album out that's exactly the same as someone else's. That's copyright infringement. Oh, no, you can't stop me doing it, otherwise I'll never learn. Fucking idiots. Where's me washboard? The Yoki Mabob for the thingamajig. Absolutely, Ali. You know exactly what the score is. Not sure how many things, objects and systems that have turned out entirely good. Life is a journey through the greys. It is at my age. It is. Some things as well turn out to be completely different to what we expected. They suddenly become useful for something else. The internet being one of them. That just started off. That was in like a university or something, wasn't it? That started off being just handy for them. And then someone went, you know what? This would work brilliant for sharing information around the world. And it worked out brilliant. And then just got obviously changed to being 99.9% porn. Like everything. Unexpected good, unexpected bad. So the internet, it has been, some of it's been ruined, but it has revolutionised the world. How easy we can communicate with people around the world, how easy we can share information. It's amazing. US military first, then universities, businesses and the rest of us. And of course it was invented by a Brit. Again. We have made some fantastic stuff. Took a grad course on the internet, on Tinternet. But it's just a fantastic idea. You can see why it grew from where it was. And the pain in the arse is there's so much information out there. Not everything is correct, we know that. There's so much out there. If you want to learn how to speak a language, you can do it on the internet. If you want to create, YouTube's brilliant for that. If you want to create something, you can do. If you want to make your own music and then publish it, and you can do all that, you can do all of it. If you want to learn how to do something, you want to research, you don't have to go to a library, which is a shame. It is. I'd rather go to a library, but it's just nice that you're able to find out what you need to know. And it's being ruined, not only by porn, but also by misinformation, disinformation and bad information. Internet communities was interesting culturally and technically. I can imagine it was, man. Who's that recording artist that uses AI to write his songs and has just got a $3 million record deal? Say, what, motherfucker? Knox Hill was fuming. I'm not surprised. I don't know. I know how easy it is, right? Using AI, you can be skilled in using AI to create stuff that you want to hear. But it is literally just put a prompt in and it does all the work for you. You should not be getting record deals for that. How many bands out there are actually using it at the moment and then just taking inspiration from it? We can't think of any songs. I'll tell you what, AI, write us an album that sounds like we wrote it, and then we'll change it, we'll tweak it slightly, and we'll use our own little je ne sais quoi as well. Use a slightly different instrument on this particular bit of it, and we'll just say we wrote it anyway. Because after all, it's only using our own music. It's scraping our own back catalogue. I reckon there's bands already doing that. It's pathetic that though, isn't it? Like Damien Hirst or someone getting a Turner Prize for something someone else has painted. But I had the idea to do this. Yeah, but he done it. Yeah, but I had the idea. I told him what to do. Yeah, but he fucking done it. There you go. That's the way the world is at the moment. We're going to fight back against this though. Like I said, I was watching a few things recently and the same thing kept coming up. After a while, we are going to be trained as human beings to spot what was AI and what isn't. And then we'll start being more discerning. In the same way that people have gone back to listening to vinyl after years of listening to MP3s and Spotify and what have you. People are actively seeking out records, things that you can hold, touch, smell, read. When you hand it over to someone as a present, this big, huge thing appears with artwork and all kinds of stuff. We're going to go back that way, I think. And at that point, hopefully, AI on YouTube will stop. The AI slop, at least. And then the actual connecting with a human being. Well, you lot connecting with actual human beings, not me, obviously. We'll come back and we'll be better for it, I think. We're just horny for it at the moment, aren't we, with AI? Just absolutely up mad for it. We'll do anything you want. The Whole Earth electronic link was the earliest civilian community online. The early days had so much good and hope in it. And then fast forward so many years and everyone's just calling each other a nonce on Twitter. We can't have anything, can we? Can never have anything at all. So that just go pang. Up to yellow, up to yellow. P-break. We can do that for you. P-break, 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 P-break. We spoil it all the time now. And when I say we, I don't mean humans, I mean men. We always spoil it. We've got this fantastic thing that we can use that will just revolutionise the world of humans. Porn. If not porn, let's say we can kill other people. Porn and murder, that's all there is these days, isn't it? Bastards. The circle blokey artist, you read about one of his pieces. He just drew the circles and somebody else coloured them in. Fucking hell. Why, Delilah? Having an idea is fantastic. And you can get other people to do things for you as part of a shared experience amongst humans. But it's got to be more than that. Unless it is just... I hate art. I love art and I hate it at the same time. It's an example of man's inability to... What? What on earth are you talking about? Well, he's fighting back against nihilism and AI. That's what he's done. He's drawn the circles, they've coloured them. What he's saying is, no, he's not saying anything. He's just a lazy bastard. What I think the artist is trying to say. Who was it? I've seen one of those. What the artist was saying was, and the artist himself went, that wasn't what it was at all. Not at all. In fact, a musician's done that as well. Symbolism in music. And whoever was doing it was going on about what this symbolised. And then the musician just went, wasn't about that at all. It was about shagging. To find out what that is, it was fucking hilarious. It wasn't AI, it was him. I know, yeah. But know what I mean is, it could be a critique of AI. I create the circles, they colour them in. Therefore, it is my artwork. I'm just getting someone else to do the heavy lifting. I'm the intelligence, they are artificial. It's on its arse, isn't it? I hate it. People looking for meaning in stuff when it isn't there. Anybody can come up with meaning in stuff. Anybody can look at a painting. If you spend enough time looking at a painting, you can make shit up about it. What I think the artist meant to say was, Just ask the artist if he's not here. Don't pontificate about it. Don't say you know what he's talking about, because you don't. True story. Saying that, I do use AI quite a lot. Piss take music, absolutely, because, well, it used to be you could do music and it wouldn't be copyright protected. Very handy for my videos. But I also use it for the video descriptions and things. Just fuck it, go on, put an idea in there. For the talking head ones especially, just give it the transcript. Write an SEO optimized title using this transcript and it does it for me. Balls to it, I'm going to do that. Why not? Does it better than I can. And it does work. But then I'm not hiding from that. I'll tell anybody, yeah, I use that for that. Which is why my normal videos, my postcards and that are just fairly straightforward. I don't like that side of YouTube, I hate it. Descriptions, thumbnails I quite like. Titles I fucking hate, absolutely hate. I'd rather just go off peak completely. Off peak. Off peak's cheaper, isn't it? I'd rather take the jazz approach to titles, call it something strange. Some artists do want folks to do the interpreting for their own meaning, yeah. Some folks are full of it if they're overly confident about what artists meant. Didn't make explicitly clear, yeah. I can understand if you're working with people and you want them to give their input. This is what I'm trying to collate what people think of a certain subject or what it makes them feel. I get that. There's too much of it where, I don't know. It's a bit up its own arse, isn't it, art at times? And you can tell sometimes when an artist has just phoned it in completely. And they've done it like 5 minutes to go before the installation starts. There you go. That'll do. But what does it mean? Oh, well, what it means is, you can see them making it up as they go. It's supposed to be an example of bollocks. You're just making this up now, we can tell. Good rule of thumb is to remember, no one can ever know what another brain has thought or felt. Absolutely. Art for cash is definitely a thing. And it got worse, I think, during the 80s and 90s. Once people started getting big money, contemporary artists started getting big money. Not just the old sort of Caravaggios and Van Gogh and people like that, the old masters selling. People were currently able to make a huge living. That's when it started getting a bit twatty. Going out of the way to try and make stuff that was challenging. I find it very challenging. So do I. Having to watch this shite where someone's literally just made stuff up for the sake of it. And I do love art. Like football then. No, football's tribal. Football's tribal. Football came from our village versus their village, and you should know that. Atherstone. What you see in Atherstone is what happens every Saturday now. It's just been more boiled down to its nth degree, isn't it? Do you ever have a phenomenon of travelling shows in big facilities of really mass manufactured art? Be advertised in very obnoxious TV ads? We have not seen that. Football is about cash. It isn't. It is and it isn't. Because football is still played all round the world, and especially all around this country, on a daily basis for people who don't get any money at all. And it's just about the love of the game. The love of the game and also hating your next door neighbours. You know, all you need to know about art when you read the story of the guy who put his glasses on the gallery floor. Some of it is just, it's ridiculous. I hated the one that John Lennon was talking about, Yoko Ono. I love it and I hate it at the same time. She had a stepladder, and you walk up the stepladder towards the ceiling, and it's just a little bit of paper, and when you peel it back to have a look, it says yes. And John Lennon said, I love that, because it was positive. Yeah, I know, it is positive, but at the same time, it's just a piece of paper on the fucking ceiling above the step ladders. You can do more with yes than just that. I always thought it was really, really positive. It was fucking positive. Early's back again. It was mostly in the 80s. Now you wonder if you could find an old commercial. Pretty hard to convey the bizarreness otherwise. Yeah. I've not seen that, but I bet you if I saw something, I think, do you know what, we had something similar. Health and safety nightmare wouldn't be allowed now, definitely. It said yes, and I fell off the stepladder and hurt myself. So I'm giving it a 0 out of 10 no. But I'm sure there's also genuinely convinced people are trying to outdo each other in the wankiness of art. If they've got away with doing that, I'll get away with doing this. Damien Hirst got away with cutting a sheep in half and putting in formaldehyde. Then I've got to take that and then move it on further forward to be even more fucking stupid than that. How? Where does it end? At what point? And I'll start to sound like an old man shaking fist at cloud and what have you. At what point do we go back to someone just painting something nice? Something looks nice. Taking a picture of something. That looks lovely. What does it represent? Nothing. I just saw this scene in front of me and I thought it looked fantastic. So I took a picture of it. That's it. Just thinking, remember Vic put up a link for a video for Ruby and the Muzzle. Vic put a link to the video of her in the pool. She'd get a load more views, wouldn't she? At which point, oh yeah, you look fantastic. Show us the back of your knees. OMG, starving artist group, it exists. So it's not the same SAG that we know about. Is it the SAG that was on strike the week before that one? Can we see your face? Where are you? Yeah. She can do that now. Put that link in there. The latest short. It does sort of show her face. I did have to comment on there. I did say she doesn't look like Rose West. That spoiled it for me, that now. People can see she doesn't look like Rose West. I'm gutted. Who does she think she is? Spoiling my fun. But you see the problem with that now, she was wearing jeans, wasn't she? The next one's going to be, can you do another one where you're wearing shorts? Do another one where you see the back of your knees? Just fucking no helping these people. It was a good short though. The merch looks fantastic. It probably looks better in a backyard in Vegas with the sun bouncing off it as well, doesn't it? Than piss wet in Southport. Walking on Ainsdale Beach with a sunny heart. Not going to work, is it? But she's giving the people what they want. Well, yeah, Ali, remember that. Next time you speak to her, next live that you're on, just tell her to put a link to it. So if anyone says anything, yeah, go on. There you go. Come back when you're finished. The dogs look amazing as well. Yeah. And my walks could do better with a dog, Christine. My walks could do better with me with a dog, couldn't they? I'm not sure I could get away with that. That's bloody heavy. That. A lead. One hand. And a sausage dog called Myron running between my legs. Not sure. Oh, Sam has sent it. I'm going to watch that later. I'm definitely going to watch that later. Oh. Ali, oh.
It's going up. It's there.
It's there. 49, level 49. Lovely stuff. Yep, you sent it. I clocked it. It come up. Ping. I'm going to watch that. I'm going to watch that, definitely. But if you went to a local restaurant, could take a dog for a walk. There is a place, isn't there? Freshfield have got an animal sanctuary. which is just down the road. Can I borrow a dog? Here's a dog. Go ahead. Don't be our ass. Could he lend me a left hand as well? That would come in handy. Or a cameraman. I'm having to do all this single-handedly. Literally single-handedly. This is the pain in the arse about it, you know. There's people out there who've got really, really successful channels with loads of money coming in. They can afford to pay people to do stuff for them. Go and hire me a dog. You be cameraman. Just follow me walking the dog. Right, okay, go and edit it. I'll just go and sit on me solid gold chair, drinking vermouth out of a crystal goblin. I had loads of ads that were mostly screaming nonsense. So that was mostly out of fashion. Mostly. There's still loads of screaming nonsense, unfortunately. Oh, hello. What have we got? Coffee, oh my god, you want a coffee? The coffee is adorable, oh my god. I've got a drone for that. I have. The unfortunate problem is it's only 249 grams, which means you don't need a license, even though I've got a pilot license for drones. It means you don't need one, but also if it gets windy, you cannot use it because it'll blow away. You need a heavier drone for that, and I've only got one arm. I need more than one arm. The only drone I saw which you can use one-handed is about £1,000. I'm not really having got the cash at the moment. Thanks to me bloody car. Who wants the coffee? I'll take a coffee. I like coffee. That looks nice. I'd have that. Black. No sugar. No milk. As it is. Sam will always have a coffee. There you go. The coffee is making its way to Texas. Yeah, these drones have got no weight in them whatsoever. Anything over 249 grams, 250 plus, and you have to have a proper license for it. They are pretty good in the wind. The light ones aren't. I put mine up a few times here, and once it reaches the top of the house, where the wind starts coming in from sideways, oh no, down it comes. Doesn't like us. Oh, do you mean like, yeah, come on down to Crazy Joe's. There's loads of those mad adverts years ago, wasn't there? Was our version of that Barry Scott and Still It Bang? I'm Barry Scott! No, you're not. Calm down, stop screaming. Oh, man. I've had a coffee in ages. Should I have one tomorrow? I should, shouldn't I? A nice pour over coffee. Using me dripper, me V60. What was the film with Whoopi Goldberg and Ted Danson? Oh, man. Yeah, I know what you mean. I can't think. Ted Dirty Danson. Everton used to have a player who looks like Ted Danson. Bizarrely. There are always car dealerships, furniture stores, yeah, and they like doing that. The starving artists and worse. Something called Nationwide Warehouse really took the cake. Jumping Jack Flash. So guess. Mandy will have to tell us. I remember them being in a film, but I couldn't remember what it was called or anything. Don't even think I've seen it. probably seen it on like Film 82 or something mad whenever it came out. Good film, that though. Good film. Is that a good film? Were people coming from Gdansk to see that film? I haven't watched the film in ages. I haven't even watched the latest Wes Anderson, and I love his stuff. It's been out for months. Why haven't I watched any films? Apart from the fact that I'm just constantly on pissing YouTube. To be honest, some of the YouTube stuff is better than some of the stuff you'll find on Amazon, Netflix and all that. Some genuinely amazing filmmakers out there. Genuinely amazing. Pisses me off though, because I'm rubbish. They're brilliant, I'm rubbish. I'm going to practice though, I'm going to get really good. I'm not going to get really good. Girl looking for a dad, you can't think. Have you tried putting that into Google? Should we Google what that comes up with? Ted Danson looking for his girl, what? Ali Ali-O, you have to say good night. No worries, kid, no worries. Early work tomorrow. Ted Danson, Whoopi Goldberg. Made in America, was it? Made in America. Apparently them two were bang at it, weren't they? Filthy beasts, bang at it. Made in America. And it ended up costing Danson $30 million. For Megan Whoopi. Literally. Ted Dirty Danson. Absolutely. That's the one. There you go. Morning, Jackie. Send her a text later and say, well, in the morning, see how she is. Alarm set for 5:10 in the blessed AM. That's ridiculous. And I thought I was bad. 6 o'clock. Near good. Near good. You've forgotten all about that, yeah? It's mad how sort of news stories you just completely forget about, and years later someone will mention something and there it is. You remember it. Cray. Night, Ali Ali-O. No running in the morning. Make sure you tie your laces. We're getting to that time of year, aren't we? Be careful. I'm closing the window, my hot flush is over. It's not the menopause. Tom. YouTube, just mad adverts reminded you. Yeah, do you know what? I think I remember adverts much more than films. Silly things like obviously J.R. Hartley. The Yellow Pages adverts always stick in my mind. I was right about that saddle though. Are you looking at photos from that time and you swear you must have blocked all that out? You do, don't you? Or it just disappears into part of your brain where it's not used. Like a dusty shelf at the back somewhere, and then all of a sudden, ding, there you go, it's there. I remember that. The adverts, I mean, the adverts back in the 70s and 80s in the UK were better than the TV shows. Oh, it's chips. We hope it's chips. Fantastic. Halcyon days for adverts. I was right about that saddle though. That advert always wanted me to get a bike, a racing bike. I never wanted a racing bike, just that advert made me want one. Just to see if he was right about that saddle though. I was right about that saddle though. TV's changed so much, hasn't it? TV and film, it's all completely and utterly changed. Couldn't skip ads back then, absolutely not. And with the complete lack of TV channels, in the UK. We had, well, 1982 was it? 81, 82, Channel 4 started. So it was like four channels. Before then, you only had 3, and you'd watch wherever your parents were watching because it was their TV. Unless you were lucky enough to have a portable. But even then, there was nothing on. And you just watched them. No matter what it was, you'd watch it. Nowadays, you can watch literally anything. No more unifying, effective, shared interest in primetime network shows to chat about. It doesn't exist anymore. Someone was talking about that recently as well. Another one who mentioned about how things have changed and not for the better. Whether it's buying records, going home and listening to them on the record player, anything like that. You had to go out your way to go and find music. Or when it came to traditional TV, linear TV they call it now, don't they? You would have to sit through adverts. You'd have to watch an episode. If it was out on a Sunday night, you'd watch an episode. And then you'd have to wait an entire week for that second episode to come out. Now you stream it. Your mate is watching something else and streams something else. It's just, Bake Off and Strictly, they're the only sort of water cooler shows that we have now, because people have to watch them at the same time together. If you talk about Peaky Blinders or Breaking Bad or any of the big streaming shows, anybody can watch all of them or a few of them whenever they feel like. It's not the same. Coming into school the following morning, did you see that last night? We don't get that anymore. Did I watch what? The episode 1 of such and such. Oh no, I watched the entire series. Bastard. Just, it spoiled it. But also I suppose it makes it better for us. Us consumers. Watch what you want when you want. On the plus side, we can find our people more with niche interests. You're not into anime, but that definitely gets people to find their own tribe depending on which one they like. It does. Anime's a bit like football. If you like the right one, you'll find the right people. If you don't, you'll find people that just want to take you down a dark alleyway and give you the kicking. It's mad, isn't it? But I think as well as a society, we're more in tune with how algorithms work. There's always been algorithms, even though we haven't realised. Just finding the people in school that you like, the people who are into Monty Python, or used to sort of stick together and do all the lines and stuff like that, whereas other people who are into music or football more used to find their own little tribes. That's just an algorithm, isn't it? A fleshy algorithm. The fleshy algorithm. Back to Casper's mate again now, aren't we? But we do. It does help as well. If you're finding people with similar interests. And not necessarily people who you would expect. I mean, sort of, I don't know, goths. Wouldn't expect goths to be hanging around with bikers, to be hanging around with indie kids. But if they're all into the same show, they've got something in common. You don't look anything like each other. You don't need to. We're all interested in this. Your phone froze. Had to turn on PC audio. You blame the electromagnetism from the sun. Absolutely. That's what it is. Which is why my phone keeps going. It's just more and more. You're going to look outside later on and the entire sky is going to be red and green and blue. Watch this space. Your algorithmic... See, I can't speak. Your algorithmic niche was Discworld. Did you find loads of people that were involved in the same kind of thing as you, just based on that? Mine was music in our school and prog rock. There was only a certain section of us in the school who were interested in that. So we found our own people. And then from that, we also had our own music. Happy Mondays, Stone Roses. So we also had our little friendships with other little groups. But it was always music. Phone live again. Phone audio is higher quality than PC. And usually less lag. Far less lag. And you need to listen to this at high quality, don't you? With my sonorous voice. Apart from the fact that I can't speak English today. Say your own name, Nick. Yeah, algorithmic niches. Football over here is a brilliant one for it. You find your own people because you support the same football team. But then you also find people who support a different football team and you've got something in common with them. Not the same as you have with this lot, but it's still the game with them. Music. What kind of music are you into? I don't like the same music as you. But I do play guitar and you play guitar. Therefore we've got that in common. Brilliant. And it's not as cynical as, say, the YouTube or Netflix algorithm. YouTube's being absolutely hammered at the moment, isn't it, by people? Because you're watching certain videos, they will keep on throwing that video at you, similar kind of videos constantly, and they won't show you the people that you actually subscribe to. Well, you wanted to watch this. I wanted to watch it once. I don't now want to watch the entire thing, just one niche subject. Otherwise, my brain will explode again. I want to watch that. I want to watch woodwork. I want to watch someone fishing. I want to watch motorsports. I want to watch someone gaming. I want something different every bloody time. More after school years, yeah. So you found Discworld people were or are generally your kind of people. You mean the weird, Mandy? You're not weird. Well, you are, but you know. I don't. You do find people who've got a similar sense of humour with Discworld. You find people with the same kind of sense of humour. If you can trust them to read Terry Pratchett, you know we're going to get on all right here. I know what you mean by that. Your niche is mostly British content, news, gardening, mystery shows, bake-off, etc. Which, again, we're slagging off the internet, or I was slagging off the internet earlier on. Without the internet, you wouldn't have as easy a time getting access to that kind of thing, would you? So it's pretty good as well, isn't it? We do some fantastic TV shows in a very British style. It's just mad. I wouldn't have thought some of the things that we make would translate well around the world. But it's obvious it does. Even niche comedy shows. Again, things like Red Dwarf, I keep mentioning this, it's a very, very British sitcom. And it seems to work brilliantly in the States. And yet, when they tried to remake it over there, they completely fucked it. Everyone's got to be the hero in US TV shows, haven't they? There's always got to be something. Everyone's got to win at the end of it. What was the fella talking about? In the British Red Dwarf. When Lister comes back from being in stasis, asleep for 3 million years, the first thing he said was, "Oh, Ray, I've still got that library book." So the British version was, "I'm going to owe an absolute fortune to the library." The US version, the remake was, "Oh, my baseball card is going to be worth a fortune." That was the difference between the two of them. So, no, he had to win. The US fella had to win, whereas the Brit had to be completely knackered. That's just the slightly different psyche, the national psyche for me. But it's still the original UK Red Dwarf was watched and loved by loads of US comedy fans. You don't have to have heroes. Do you know what? An anti-hero works just as well. Do you know that? That's why it's so bloody popular. It used to be limited to public broadcasting, bringing it over. Once you could get DVDs in your mailbox from Netflix, you were off to the races. Yeah, it's public service broadcasting used to be brilliant for stuff like that. Monty Python started in the States just because someone on a public service broadcasting network over there liked it, saw it in England, liked it and thought, I'm going to show that over here. They never thought it was going to take off, but it did. And then it's become such a popular, I don't know, genre. UK Monty Python-esque kind of humours work really well. They wouldn't have got it either if it hadn't been for PSB. So it's good to have people like that who are willing to bring stuff over and take a chance on it. But now you can just do what you want, can't you? If you're into something, give it a go. If you don't like it, you don't watch it again. You can just quickly go and click on the next thing, next thing and next thing. So it opens the world up. I love it for things like, I've got friends, again, especially in the States, friends who are heavily into music. And when we first started on Twitter, and I got this little bit of a friendship group of people in mainly the UK, some in the States, some in Australia, and a few dotted around the world. We would share music, and it was all stuff that you wouldn't get in the charts. If someone said, oh, I like this particular band, well, if you like them, there's no way on earth you're going to heard of this band, that band, that band, and that band. But here's a load of links to them. Go and give them a listen. So you're introducing people to new music they would never have heard. And the same for us. Loads of underground US bands that I would never have found. I'm suddenly getting sent to me. I love us. That's how we grow. Grow your experiences. But speak to the right people. That's the thing, isn't it? Again, what you were saying, Mandy, you find your own trusted, I don't know, what do you want to call it? Not a gang, but you know what I mean? Your own trusted subgenre of people. If I can trust them on Discworld, I can probably trust them on music. I can trust them on films, books, everything that you want to talk about. Yeah, so much easier to find out about things from individuals sharing. Organisations will filter it for their own benefit, whereas people who become friends online because they've got a shared interest will share just for the, I don't know, the sheer giddiness of helping someone out. Well, I'm into this music and I've shared it with someone. I've made their life a little bit more sunny today because of a song I give them. Brilliant, isn't it? I love that, being able to give people things that I know inside out, that they've never heard or never heard, seen, experienced. Just, here you go. Try that, what do you think? Do you like it as much as I like it? You do. And you're watching all of it now, great. Let me know when you watch series 1 and we'll talk about it. I love that, man. Old TV, stuff was given time to improve, definitely. Not just you didn't get X percentage of ratings, you're not getting season 2. You've got to let some things breathe. After a while, they find the feet. And it could take 3 or 4 series before something suddenly becomes massive. Got to give people an opportunity. And when you look at things in hindsight as well, this should have worked, and you watch back and go, this really should have worked. If it was given another series, they'd have probably developed it to the point where it becomes a worldwide smash. But no, if it wasn't doing billions of views within the first week, no good. Shit, that. Everyone deserves a chance. Unless it is truly abysmal. That's the thing, isn't it? If it is really awful, at that point, nah, bin it. And it's less likely to have the rare thing like Star Trek being cancelled early and fans being able to convince an investment in the films and then relaunching with the next generation. Yeah, that doesn't seem to work. I mean, it is mad. Was it Family Guy stopped and they had to bring it back because the fans were going for it so much? You've got to bring this back, otherwise we'll go mental. Yeah, films, so many box office flops attaining cult status. Again, I think that's down to, a lot of it is down to the underdog. People don't like this, nobody watched it, therefore I like it. And I've got loads of mates who also form an attachment to it because we know it's the underdog. It's much better than people think, but we'll keep on banging the drum for it. Absolutely. It was unique to the time. We have lived through some unique times, haven't we? Yeah. All friendships are smaller and more fickle. I think we've been deliberately moved away from each other as well, haven't we? Just factionalised. Keep people arguing amongst themselves so the people higher up can get on with what they want to get on with. Pity. Yeah, it's critics' opinions versus public opinion. Critics' opinions mean nothing. Public opinion makes or breaks anything. Some of the most highly rated, critically rated things I've watched or listened to have been absolutely awful. Again, we're going back to art, aren't we? Well, I think this and I think that. Well, you think whatever you like. the theatre's going to be empty. But it's that piece of shit that nobody likes. All the critics are panned. Suddenly makes billions at the box office because it zeroes in on something within the public psyche. Not always good, which is why Vienna by Ultravox only managed number 2 in the charts in the UK, whereas Joe Dolce, Shut Up Your Face, managed to get to number 1. That somehow courted public opinion, didn't it? Mr. Blobby got to number 1. And Hitler was very popular. It can also be easy to sell and resell old ideas than truly new ones that look like a greater business risk. It does, which is why I hate the phrase reboot. There's so many reboots, not reboots. All you're doing is you've run out of ideas, or you're not letting true artists come up with great ideas. Just this needs to be tried and tested. If we can't find something that's tried and tested, we'll get someone else. We'll get AI to rewrite this hit sitcom. In fact, that was, again, this is completely different, but exactly the same. Listening to Stuart McConey, and he was talking about Caitlin Moran, a writer from the UK. She wrote a sitcom about her life, about growing up in Wolverhampton. She was slightly chubby, working class from Wolverhampton, and that was the main thing about the character to begin with. And the people in charge went, oh, does she have to be from Wolverhampton? Does she have to be working class? Does she have to be slightly chubby? It's like, raised by wolves, that's the one, man, yeah. And I was like, well, that's the whole point. The whole point of this is, it's her life. This is who she was at the time. And the whole comedy is based around knowing this inside out. To then move it to London and have it played by a skinny woman of, I don't know, who's a slightly bigger box office, and she's middle class. Just, it doesn't work. That was with plays, musicals as well. Like, The Lion King was neat, but did it need to be on Broadway and then remade in film? Yeah. No one's willing to take a chance, are they? Or seemingly not willing to take a chance. There needs to be more risk involved in art. And by art, I don't mean paintings, but that needs to be as well. But film, TV, music. Give people an opportunity. There's loads of money around. Just occasionally just say to someone, okay, you've got an idea. You want to make something. Well, let's have a go. Let's see what it looks like. Let's see what the public think. The public might look at it and think this is shit. But we'll say we've had a go. They also might think this is the best thing I've ever seen. There's definitely not as much. There's not as much risk taking going on these days. There's not as many people who are willing to take risks on anything. Everything's got to be sorted out beforehand. Algorithms. What do you reckon this will do? Who do we need to put in this show to make it work? Just pick the person who is perfect for it. Doesn't have to be known. Again, Red Dwarf is a brilliant example for this. Craig Charles was a poet. Not a brilliantly well-known poet, and he certainly wasn't an actor. Chris Barry was a voice. He was on Spitting Image doing impressions of people. Danny John Jules was a dancer, a really good dancer. It was in Starlight Express and things like that. But none of them were proper out-and-out actors. Threw them into this show that should never have been made. And it become a cult classic around the world. 30 years later, people are still watching it. They took a chance on these. He looks like the right person for this job, but he's not a name. Doesn't matter. Give him a chance. Do more of that. Find the right people. There are men, women, children, and all kinds of things out there. Animals, whatever. Just there's talent everywhere that can be used for stuff. Doesn't have to be the same names over and over again. Wankers. Yeah, the familiarity and comfort plays a factor with potential consumers. It does, which is why Tom Cruise gets paid a fortune for films, because they know Tom Cruise-ophiles are going to watch it. Yeah. It definitely isn't pushing people. Art is, it should be about pushing people out of comfort zones. Because if you get pushed out your comfort zone enough, your comfort zone enlarges. Yeah, go and see different perspectives. It's got to be done. Give people a chance. A lot of these big names would never have been given a chance under the current state of affairs. I think they were talking about Britain's Got Talent or Pop Idol or one of them, and I forget if it was Paul McCartney or Mick Jagger. One of them said we would never have made it onto the finals as the Beatles or the Stones. They wouldn't have had it. Stupid but true. Everything's got to fit in. How does it affect the algorithm? Doesn't matter. Let's see how we can move the planet's conscious forward by taking a few risks. Let's see, come on. Can we drag everyone with us? They don't though, do they? They don't want that because stupid people and inexperienced people are easier to control. The more people grow as humans, the more they learn, the wider their experiences become, the more difficult it is for people in charge to control them. Up their workers. A rising tide lifts all ships. They don't do that though. It's horrible. Very, very true. Very true. Some people don't want to be challenged, which probably explains why garden makeovers are popular. Yeah. You don't always have to be challenged. Garden makeovers are brilliant because it's a chance to not think for a while, just to slow down, taking a bit more, I don't know, chill TV, isn't it? Just go and watch something really nice in front of you. More zen. But you can also, after watching one of them, be challenged in the kind of music you're listening to. Listen to someone with a bit more of an outlook on life, which isn't, I want to hold your hand, she loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. Go and start listening to Strawberry Fields and all the other mad stuff the Beatles did afterwards, or listen to a bit of freeform jazz. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Just give it a go. Nice. Definitely solidarity. Up their workers. I'm delighted with my music taste because I pushed myself at times to listen to things I didn't necessarily like to begin with, but I wanted to learn. Jazz, I'm not a huge jazz fan, honestly, but I loved guitar. So my mate, who's the best guitarist I've ever heard in my life, was heavily into Django Reinhardt, and he used to play it in the pub of a pub that we had. After they played a gig during the day, during the evening, I can't fucking speak. Play during the evening, close the pub, whatever, stay behind, and he'd just get the guitars out and play all night. And I loved it. So he started giving me records of Django Reinhardt and Stefan Grappelli, and I loved that. So I then moved on to listening to a bit more Miles Davis. You know, just you move bit by bit and then find things that you do like, and it's changed how I look at music just by doing Django Reinhardt. So if I can listen to that, I can listen to almost anything. It was so far out my comfort zone. So I give anything a go, and if I didn't like it, I didn't like it, but I'd always give something a go. Apart from Coldplay, Ed Sheeran and AC fucking DC, obviously. Those gardening or room changing things definitely reveal how much some of those folks are resistant to change. They want it, but also they don't. Absolutely. One of the worst ones for that is it location, location, location? Or, which is the one where they're always, they want to try and rebuild an entire house for £2.50. And Kevin McLeod is saying, you can't do that. The budget's too low and you're looking to, your ideas are too lofty. Bring it down slightly. Oh no, we're going to do this. Right, it's overrun by 4 years and 6 billion in debt. People don't want help. They say they do, they don't. Some people. That should be a salutary lesson though, shouldn't it? Watching things like that. These people didn't listen, and look what's happening. Therefore, if I need to do something like this in my own real life, I will listen to the experts. But it doesn't work that way. People watch them instead and go, yeah, that's a good idea. We've got 200 quid in the bank. Let's go and put a second floor on the conservatory. It's made of glass, it'll fall in. It's all right. I watched it, it's all right. We'll put something over the top and then yeah, no, it's going to fall down, yeah, I know. Like the sped up versions on YouTube where they just tidy up overgrown garden. Oh, I love them, yeah. You call them slash and dash or mow and go. They are brilliant. Normally, this person has got no money and hasn't done their garden in 5 years. I decided to do it for free. Yeah, go on, let's see what happens. Zzz, looks fantastic. I do like them. Or the people who make things in the woods, sped up as well. You definitely could never take on a massive renovation. Not that you could ever afford something like that, but would trust a real expert. Yeah, you would have to, wouldn't you? Especially if it's the money. If you're pushing yourself with money. It's like, this is going to cost a lot of money and I can just about stretch to this. You don't want to mess around with it. You want the person to come in and go, right, every penny of that we're going to need and we're going to make it fantastic. Over you go. That's over to you, mate. Off you go. The Dodgy Gardener on Insta is hilarious. The Dodgy Gardener. Sounds filthy. Sounds filthy. House flipping is a bizarre money-making phenomenon. It is. I can understand why people do it, because if you do it right, you can make a lot of cash, but yeah. That, to me, house flipping is the kind of thing that was... If you are a builder, or a carpenter, a plasterer, and you've got ability to help change these things around yourself, and you've got friends who can also help you out, that is the kind of thing you would do to keep trading up until you can afford the house of your dreams. I understand that, but just as a way of making money rather than actually getting a job, I don't get it. That's a lot of eggs in one basket for me, though. And a huge amount of money. Just buying a house, buying a wreck of a house is still very expensive. Then having to spend a lot of money making it better. If at any point one of those Jenga blocks falls out, your entire project's gone and your money's gone with it. We're selling the house and we're going to make a loss. You were told. Ah, well. Not an issue I need to worry about. We rent. Never ever going to have enough money to buy a house. That is beyond me, unfortunately. Scottish bloke making his garden look like ChatGPT's version. Swears all the way through. No clue what he's doing. That sounds, to me, very much like my kind of thing. It does, doesn't it sound epic? Scottish for a start. Does he sound anything like Malcolm Tucker? The thick of it. Does it sound like him? Come the fuck in or fight the fuck off. I could do that. One-handed, I could do that. Send us a link, Mandy. Send us a link. We'll do that. We'll watch that. Pretty much. There you go. You know, Malcolm Tucker, one of the greatest characters in history. The best swearer of all time. I'm going to have to watch that, aren't I? You've piqued my interest now, man. You've piqued it. It's piqued. My interest has been piqued. Marvellous. I'll be able to watch stuff like this now. I've got loads of time free. Won't I? Once she's got a car back anyway. I'll have loads of time free to watch this stuff. Or create. He's on part 88. What's some catching up to do? Jesus. You followed, going to look at it later. The Dodgy Gardener. Remind me of that later. I'm going to watch that myself as well. See? This is the kind of niche. Sam, you know you can trust Mandy when it comes to this. So, we've found our niche. We're all going to watch it. And I reckon we'll all really enjoy it as well. Part 88. There's a lot to watch then, isn't there? Happy days. Oh, happy days. Oh, happy days. Oh, man, I am absolutely knackered. What time are we on? Right. Ali's still working. How's Ali still working? How is she still working? Oh, man. We're all your niche and you're all to Vic. Because Vic is part of the same niche. So, well, she's Mandy's niche. If she was Sean Connery or Ash Manish. Yeah, we owe it all to Vic. I had the time of my life and I owe it all to Vic. Oh, I Dancing shoes time, it is dancing shoes time. Where's the washboard? Right, get your dancing shoes on, come on, let's do this thing.
Another great night here at the Bears Paws. Folks, go give yourself a round of applause. We've had a good chat and told the odd joke. Now get in a hot tub for a post-stream soak.
And that's that. Keep watching the skies.
Hoo-yah!